Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Yachts here. It's Sunday, and it's a Sunday special report. And today we're doing a Sunday special report on gambling. Yeah, it came out on Friday on ESPN, a new article about the Jonte Porter scandal this year, that Jonte has been diagnosed with gambling addiction. And, this channel is very open and honest about talking about very, very important things. And it's very well known on this channel that some of us in this channel, including myself, I'm an alcoholic. So we talk very openly about very tough subjects on this channel, like addiction. And being an alcoholic and understanding addiction myself, I can really see the humanistic side of this story for Jonte. It's a weird thing, the human brain. It develops over time, and you do get in little places where you have, routines. You have kind of habits. You have things that you enjoy to do, things that, you get simple pleasures from. In fact, in this world, sometimes they get you hooked on things by a dopamine rush. And it's as simple as something as like you play a trivia game on your phone, you play any kind of thing that makes you feel good all of a sudden because you want a reward or something like that. It's as easy, as simple as that. It's like Pavlov's dog. Well, this is something that is a lot more prevalent in society in different activities than just the classic addictions of alcohol, drugs, or whatever you say. Now, gambling addiction is a very serious addiction. It's something that has been underlying in society for decades, a long, long time. But recently, sports has legalized gambling in a lot of areas that were not that way in recent past. And this is a very sticky kind of thing in some ways. In some ways, it's dangerous, I would say, as someone who's an addict who understands this. But also, I understand the whole idea that, Adam Silver wants to legalize the gambling so they can have some control over it and it's not illicit and under the ground. And in some ways, it's the same way that Europe has dealt with drugs. Legalize the drugs so you can regulate them and you can have a little bit more safety around them. So I understand the premise of that, but the thing he's not understanding is legalizing gambling around sports. And I'm not just saying Adam Silver in the NBA, because it's happening with all the major sports right now, it's making more access to gambling. And this is a problem. I'm going to tell you, this is a problem right now. I think there's a lot of short-sightedness about just how Wild West and wide open the gambling culture is becoming around sports. And the thing is that, gambling is different than alcohol. Gambling is different than cigarettes. Gambling is different than illegal drugs. It's something that can be very kind of institutionalized and not criminalized. It's something that, a son and a father could be sitting and watching a game and say, you know what, I'm going to put a prop bet on Scotty Barnes real quick to get a triple-double because it looks like he might get a triple-double or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it can be more accepted societally than certain things. So this is really scary. This is really, really scary. From an addict's mindset like mine, I have never ever started gambling myself because I understand once I get going, I can't stop. I cannot stop myself. If I picked up an alcoholic drink today, I would not be able to stop until I'm laying in the ground totally absolutely obliterated. And I cannot afford to do that. So knowing my addictive personality, I purposefully, most of my life, have stayed away from any kind of betting or any kind of gambling because I knew that you get into gambling, you can lose your shirt. You can become very bankrupt and very much in debt very quickly. And this is what happened to Jonte, apparently. Jonte, meeting his friend Tom in the G League YouTube chat during the Jonte games earlier this season when he was playing for 905. I was in those chats almost every single game, and Tom was a Porter family friend of Michael Porter Jr. and the Porter family. And he was just talking about how Jonte's a financial genius, that he knows how to make money left and right. And I was like, okay, is it stocks? What is he doing there? I had no idea that this guy was bragging about his gambling way of making money. Now, Jonte did have a whole side of him that was financial, where he put investments and made money that way. But the bulk of what he was doing with his money and moving around was on bets. And it's really sad. In some ways, the guy could not understand that he's set up to go into a very lucrative career in the NBA. He had gotten the door open for him this season with the injury to Jakob, to just step in and perform and produce and get those contracts in the NBA. But at the height of it, when it was all happening, he threw it all away because his addiction, his mind couldn't rationalize of any other thing because he couldn't stop. That's the scary thing about addiction. And I mean, he couldn't rationalize that this is not the right thing to do because I'm going to mess up in this way. He couldn't think about the whole thing about it in the whole bigger picture because the addiction was so strong and overwhelming that it made him do it. In some ways, it's scary because it's something that anybody could be susceptible to. And the other thing I will warn people about this is there's going to be children that get into gambling as a young person, and they'll be in their formative years when their brain's still forming, and they could actually form addictive personalities to gambling in their preteens, into their teenager years, and then in their 20s, they're screwed. There's I'm just telling you, this is something that nobody's talking about. In some ways, it's all about this. It's just about making more money on top of sports through gambling in all kinds of different ways, whether BetRivers, whatever companies are doing it. In some ways, it's decaying. It is not good for society. I think about the families that may not eat or pay bills because someone in the family has an addiction and they cannot stop. When you make the access to the gambling so easy, and we put it on the TV presentation where you see the BetRivers commercials and the guy who's on the studio with Leo and them talking about the lines and the prop bets. It's just in your face. And we have advertising rules for cigarettes and alcohol. Well, they're going to need to have some rules for gambling too, because addicts will watch it and they won't be able to control themselves. And they know this. This is part of their bottom line and how they've made their business model for how they're going to do this. Doug Ford opening up gambling in Ontario is insidious and destructive. And in the long term, there's going to be social problems that rise from this. And I hope that we can have more foresight and awareness of this as this is developing. If me just talking about it and putting out there to say, watch out, you could get addicted to sports gambling in this new age of legalized sports gambling. Maybe that's enough if we do more awareness. I understand there's resources out there to get help, a hotline. It's a free country. You want to have freedom to do stuff. But I say the Wild West of the legalized gambling in sports right now is dangerous. And it's not just because of what I'm talking about here with the gambling. It's the player's safety also. We heard in the last year, Chris Boucher speak on Hustle Play podcast that he's had threats through social media about not meeting prop bets for fans. We've heard people talk to Bradley Beal exiting the court in Orlando face-to-face about not covering a bet for a fan. Now, there's just one delusional idiot, addicted fan that maybe loses everything. Something tragic and awful could happen. Now, I know there's very good security all over the NBA and stuff like that, but why do we need to have these bad examples sprout up in this madness of what we're doing to learn our lessons? We don't want something majorly tragic to happen to anyone in the NBA family just because of prop betting. And that's why I would put forth, sure, legalize gambling on sports if you really want to, you big corporations that just want to bleed us of more money. But I would say get an outlaw prop betting on specific players. This is a big, huge problem in the Jonte case because he was able to manipulate himself personally as a one individual in the game to try and modify the gambling to do what he did. And in fact, it was crazy, the story, the more the details come out. There was an argument when this all started about what is this? I said that he was addicted. I could recognize the addiction in him and said, this is an addiction problem for Jonte Porter. And then I forget who it was. I think it was Logical Raptors fanatic was saying, no, I bet you he's involved in organized crime. And they put him up to it. Well, we were both a little bit right. Because, I mean, I'm not going to say these guys that were involved with him that are being co-defendants right now in this case are organized, big, bad, mafioso, Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro kind of mafia guys. They're just sports fans that love to bet on sports. And they had an avenue through social media because everything's wide open now. We can interact with NBA players very easily in different ways. I mean, I spent 3 hours hanging out with IQ on Friday night on Twitch. I've talked to Scotty days and days and hours when he was on Twitch that summer. So it's like the access to get to the players, to talk to them, to have something like this with a Jonte Porter situation is ripe to happen in all kinds of different areas. Fans have access to players in all kinds of different ways than they ever did. So Adam Silver and the NBA in particular, and other sports and commissioners too, really do need to think about this, rescinding prop betting, because it will take a lot of power out of the players to have that temptation, first of all. And we'll put so many targets and bullseyes on players also. I say, why can't you just bet on the team? Why can't you just bet on the score? Are you degenerates so crazy that you have to bet on Jonte's free throws? I mean, what is this? Is there any kind of reasonableness and middle ground on this that we could find? That's what I would say. Now, of course, I have no control of this. I'm just a person on a YouTube channel voicing my opinions. And in some ways, the gambling problems around sports are going to increase. There's going to be more social problems from this. There will be children that do not eat because daddy spent all the money on Bet Rivers. There will be people like Jonte that just can't stop. They can't help themselves. They have a serious problem, an addiction problem. And in some ways, it's insidious and evil for corporations to prey on people because of their addictions. And I mean, that's a business model in a lot of different kind of areas of business at this point. So yeah, be wary, be cognizant. And if you do have an addictive personality like myself, well, be aware of it and stay away. I will never, ever download the Bet Rivers app because I know that is a very, very dangerous road for me to go down. I could probably make tons of money. I know all about the NBA and all the players and everything like that. I know all kinds of stuff that I probably could have made a very, very, very huge, tidy amount of money betting, but I will never, ever, ever do it because I don't trust myself to know when to stop. And that's the thing that Jonte didn't know either. And that's sad. So in the humanistic side, I feel bad for the young man. In some ways, he made our franchise look really, really bad. And I've called him redacted in the last couple of weeks. But the human side of me, I look at what happened to him and I see the young man, it's in some ways just threw a dream away because of what happened. In some ways, I wonder if he's going to go to federal prison. This is serious. You know, Congress could get involved in this and they could have a hearing on gambling in sports very soon because of people like Jonte Porter. You know, there was another player in the MLB that just recently got a lifetime ban in a similar case as Jonte Porter's. So I would just say to the powers that be, the people that are out there, understand the social problems that you are not looking at. You may be looking at your profits. You may be looking at your black ink and how much you're making, but you don't understand the collateral damage that you may be causing in the years to come. And that is basically my opening rant and Raptor freak out on the subject for today. Now, if you want to talk more about this, please put your 2 cents in the chat. As always, I will read every single comment in the chat. Everyone will get their voice heard. And yeah, that's our subject today. Sunday special report, addiction to gambling. It's a serious thing. And I don't think the powers that be are totally looking at all sides of it. And that's what I have to say about that. I say I am all for freedom. If people want to gamble on sports, well, let's do it within reason. It's not like people need machine guns at their house. So gun control laws are good. We just had the Stop Gun Violence Day on Friday, which I fully support. And I'm so proud of the Raptors organization for being very active in promoting that cause. And I would just say, you know, this is something that's going to come up in the future with the gambling. I'm telling you right now. All right, Mo's here first. First in, and of course, number one, the MVP, the birthday girl, super fan Monique Lawrence. An amazing celebration yesterday. Oh my gosh. This was the number one best Raptor Freak hangout ever. I'm telling you right now, the vibes were immaculate. The group was amazing. The conversation was incredible. There was so much interesting going on there. And Monique had a blast. Oh my gosh, Mo, I know you had a fantastic birthday party yesterday. And we're going to celebrate you again tomorrow on your actual birthday. Tomorrow will be a Monday moment. And we will be talking about the party tomorrow more. And, you know, because I really kind of have to process it still. It just happened last night. And I really was set up to do the stream today and do my little freak out about gambling. But tomorrow I want to do it justice. And I'll give you a recap about Saturday's event tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Monday moment. And it'll be on Monique's actual birthday. So we'll get to celebrate her birthday virtually on the channel tomorrow too. So yeah, that's what's up. So Mo's saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Thank you to everyone who made it out last night. Awesome night. Yeah, Monique, you're amazing. You have such amazing friends. And also, I'm so proud of the RFF coming down and supporting you and just coming with the love. Oh my gosh, what love in there! And I have to say, the NBA restaurant was quite a good venue to be in. Yeah, it was quite a good venue. And most saying sports betting sucks. Bye, Jonte. Yeah, it's so disappointing. What a story arc some of our Raptors had this past season. We could talk about Grady and his amazing progress this season, halfway through the season. We could talk about Jonte and the rise and fall. It's so crazy. He had it right there. Everything he had worked for, everything he overcame with his injuries to get to this point, to finally have the door wide open and to throw it all away like that is just depressing and sad to me. It's depressing and sad for the young man and his dream. It's depressing and sad to me as a Raptors fan, knowing what could have been with a Duncan style kind of defender like him, who's a team defender, who's all over the court and helping and has a good 3-point shot. Oh yeah, there was a lot of promise in Jonte Porter playing for the Raptors in the future that was just thrown away. And I hate it. I hate it. And you look at that, and then you look at what happened with Koloko, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, no wonder we were so bad at center by the end of the year. Because the guys that were supposed to be there for us, well, one had a pinky that was broken, and oh man, I hope it's healed and doing so good. We love you, Yak. And then, yeah, the crazy medical situation with Koloko, and then Jonte with this. I mean, that center position, oh my gosh. That's why I advocate. And I know we've got Yak and we got Kelly right now. But I always feel stronger with a 3 center, at least in your rotation in your roster somewhere. You got that older center, the aged one, the one that knows his things, like Kelly. You got your mid center that's in their prime, doing what they do, like Pirtle. And then you got your project coming up through the ranks. And that's why there's a few guys, and I really do feel like this draft this year is rife with long arm players that could replace some of the long arm players that went away in draft in trades this past season. We do need to shore up having a bit more Vision 6-9 again. That's just how I feel about it and looking at it. Some people were joking that we switched from Vision 6-9 this season to Vision 6-5. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with it. I know we need rim protection. I know we need rebounding. With no Scotty and no Yak, you see that big glaring hole right there. Yeah. Trevor J is here. The commissioner of fun, Trevor J. He is a big part of this channel. And we love you, Commissioner J. Let's see what he's saying this morning. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy Sunday, day of celebration because you wake up this morning. Share what what God puts in your heart. Open your arms and welcome someone today with love. I love that. Trevor J saying, going out in this world with a positive, loving aspect, and boom, it comes right back at you. It's a boomerang. It really is true. The energy you put out is the energy you'll get. And Trevor, I appreciate your words of wisdom. I hope you're wherever you are in the world right now, Trevor, safe travels and whatever you're doing. And we look forward to your return to the 416 in the season coming up. Yeah. All right. Let's do the classic card of the day as commissioned by Commissioner Fun, Trevor J. Remember, don't half-ass me. I need the full name of the person on the card, first and last name, for you to get the 100 points to your Raptor Freak trivia score. So let me get the card out, picking blind, and we'll see who we get, and we'll see who gets the card. Of course, this is such an important game because we're very close to the end of the Raptor Freak trivia season. When the Larry O'Brien goes to an NBA team, the trivia championship goes to the leader of our trivia season for the whole year. So, yeah, let's get the card up, and let's see who's going to get it here. All right, remember, full name, and whoever writes it in first will get 100 points. So I'm covering up the name on here of the player, and you have to name them by identification. Let's see if the top participants, Fiercey Salsera and Amit Gaming, are here to compete at the top. And Smooth Brown Man, the best of the classic card, might be here too. So let's see what's going on here. All right, it's coming from the bottom. Now we're here. All right, here we go. Coming up at the screen. I'll try not to get the glare. Let's see. This is right up Smooth's alley. He should get this right away. This is totally up Smooth's alley. That's actually a Rockets card. So Smooth's expertise is Rockets. He knows who this is. Come on, Smooth. You going to give me his real name? Are you actually here, Smooth? That's the thing. Maybe Smooth Brown Man's not up. Yeah, he knew it. There you go. He didn't even use the nickname. He knew it right away. That is Sleepy Eric Floyd. Eric Floyd, Sleepy Floyd, of course, named Sleepy because his eyes were a little sleepy. There you go. Amit thought it was Kenny Thomas. That's not a bad guess, Amit. Very, very good guess for a young man, only 15 years old, to be guessing on a classic card from the 80s. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. But no, this is Eric Sleepy Floyd of the Houston Rockets. Actually, a very a prominent rotation player for the Rockets in the 80s. He was one of their most important guards, and he did play with Olajuwon. So, yeah, Floyd was pretty good. He was a good scorer, a good shooter, and he was a point guard, and he did get assists too. So, yeah, what are your opinions about Sleepy Floyd, Smooth? as far as like you watching the old Rockets. He was a favorite, wasn't he? He was one of the fan favorites there. So yeah, 100 points to Smooth Brown Man, undefeated at the Classic Card of the Day. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, it was awesome. Very, very good. Always proud of you guys getting the card. And yeah, you guys know your basketball. I mean, that's the thing. We're teaching all eras here. And obviously, Sleepy Floyd played before the Raptors even existed. So yeah, we're going all NBA here. Let's see. Trevor J's also saying people are so mad because Caitlin Clark was not picked on the U.S. basketball Olympic team to play in Paris. Yeah, this is weird. I don't understand this. Well, it's a pecking order. I mean, we should be mad that Scotty's not on Team USA for the men's team for, Paris too, right? No. Everybody gets their turn. And in some ways, there may be WNBA ladies, professionals that are older, just like the team for USA for the men that have their time to get their last shine. And I'm sure that escalator of getting in further in your career for a rookie, Caitlin Clark, who needs to prove herself and get some accolades in that level, that it will come to her. I don't get this. People just get outraged because, well, maybe she's the golden girl of the league right now. And they just figure because she's so powerful and doing so well and she's got so much hype around her that she just automatically would be on Team USA. No, everything is earned. Nothing is given. This is something that people have said around the Raptors organization in recent years, and I agree with it. In some ways, Caitlin, she may have the hype, she may have the skills, and she may have the promise, but she still needs to go through the time. And that will come. And I'm sure she'll be playing there. I love Scotty posting this weekend his under gold medals for Team USA and saying that he's going to get that men's gold medal someday for Team USA as a full-fledged Team USA men's basketball player. So I believe you, Scott. I know you're going to get it. I have more faith in an edition of Team USA with you on it than the team that's going to Paris this summer. Seriously. You can go there with an all-star team, but if you don't have any role players that aren't going to rebound and defend, good luck with that. Team Canada's got a lot of defenders and a lot of role players on it, and they're NBA level. And that's why I tell people I think Canada's in a very enviable spot because they're the hybrid between Team USA and the European teams and the other teams around the world, and how they keep their collective together. That's what Nick wanted to do. He said, we're going to keep Team Canada together so they have like a connection over years. But Team USA shuffles up and deals their team every time. So there's no cohesion. It's just like throwing a new all-star team together every time they play. But Canada having cohesion is more like the other teams in the world, but with a higher NBA level talent like Team USA. So Canada is the closest to Team USA as far as with talent. But if they have more cohesion, that's what I'm telling you. That's the sweet spot. It's the hybrid between USA and the rest of the world, Canada. And that's what I'm excited about. And that's why I like our promise for that. Once again, I'll say IQ said on Friday night, he thinks that Canada is going to win the gold in Paris. And he is going there to support RJ and Kelly. And he will be in Paris at the Paris games to support his Raptor teammates. And I love that. I love that about IQ. Of course, he took off last night and flew to Milan, Italy last night. And he was asking people on Friday, what is cool to do in Milan? I don't know. It's Italy, man. It's probably everything is cool. IQ, you be safe in your travels and enjoy your summer, my guy. Enjoy your time off. I know you're working hard still. Trevor's saying, Jonte, who? Why are we still talking about Cashman? I'm the Cashman. Oh, yeah, baby. Cashman. I'm Russell Oliver. And I want your gold. He's a cash man. All right, you made me do a Russell Oliver impression this morning, Trevor, saying cash man. Yeah, listen, I know we're not going to talk about Jonte too much, but only when specific new details come out. And there were more details. They've arrested a fourth person alongside them as defendants in this case that were profiting off the Jonte messing around with what he was doing, taking himself out of the games. Yeah, so there's now 4 people sitting in jail in the United States for this collusion that they set up. It's so crazy. And they're so like, you do stuff on social media and chat rooms and stuff like that. People will find the receipts. Hello. You got to watch out. And that's really what's going on there. I promise you, Trevor, we do not want to bring up Jonte unless it's absolutely important. And you know what? I'm going to try as much as possible to not ever bring him up on this channel for sure. But this is an important side of this. The gambling addiction side of this is the new slant that came out on ESPN on Friday. And it is a part that we need to visit and talk over for sure. Dana's here, Canadian Dana, a true Canadian sports fan, a big fan of the Blue Jays, and a huge fan of the Raptors also, with tattoos to prove it. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, Dana. I hope you had a great morning, waking up on this beautiful Sunday in Ontario. Ontario, yours to discover, Ontario. Get out there and touch grass. That's right. Yeah, Amit Gaming holding it down in Israel for us. Yes, Amit. Coming up in the trivia ranks, Amit, good morning, y'all. How was the birthday party, Mo? It was, oh my gosh, Amit. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. David, oh my gosh. David Saborin is a saint. Let me just put it this way. David, you are a saint. And there are some new things that are going to be happening on this channel very soon. Once the Larry O'Brien goes to the team that wins the finals, there's going to be a switch on this channel. And things are going to be going in another new direction, guys. And you guys are going to be excited about it. Of course, this channel is always evolving and changing. And I'm excited because there's all kinds of amazing stuff coming up and plans that we have for this channel to enhance it and make it even better for you guys and more entertaining. And David is a big part of what's coming up, guys. And I don't want to reveal it yet, but we will find out once the trivia season is over, Amit. And I'm always happy to see you in the chat. And I hope you're having a great day and everything's good, man. But the birthday party was fantastic. Seriously, I thought it went absolutely perfect. It was exactly kind of what I was hoping would happen. And Mo did such a good job organizing it. Honestly, she did such a good job getting everything nailed down with the NBA restaurant. And it just went off without a hitch. I thought the energy was immaculate. Let's just put it that way, Amit. It was immaculate. Cowboy's here, and we missed Cowboy 100%. Cowboy's usually at our Raptor Freak Hangouts. But he had to go to Barrie yesterday, and he had a big job out in Barrie, and he was too far north to make it down in time to get to the NBA restaurant. I know Granny Evelyn really missed you, specifically Bradley, and we missed your presence because you usually are at all our hangouts. And I know you had to work. And of course, Bradley is Tada Services, cleaning services, 647-833-6844. Franchise is available. If you need help, like with spring cleaning or anything like heavy that you need lifted around your house, Bradley will come to your house and he will help you. Jack of all trades. Bradley was in Barrie helping somebody yesterday. But yeah, Tada, it's in the phone book, but also the phone number's here, 647-833-6844, anywhere in the GTA. That's right. He'll go up to Barrie. That's right. Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. I hope Mo and everyone had a great time. I'm still a bit down that I couldn't make it. I always enjoy seeing everyone next time, I guess. Yeah, we missed you too, Cowboy, and we'll make sure. Now, once again, I'll tell you in private, if you are ever working in my area at the new place, I want you to drop by and say hi to me. Okay, Cowboy? So, yes, if you ever get around my area of Ontario and you're working, please drop by after work and just come and sit on the porch with me and we'll catch up. But I love you, Bradley, and we missed you. We missed you. We missed Kareem. We missed everybody who intended to come but was not able to make it down there in the end. And you guys were all there in spirit, and RFF was representing strong. So don't worry, guys. Don't feel too bad about not making it. We showered Mo with great love, and RFF was in effect. So don't worry, guys. And I know you guys would have made it if it was absolutely able to. But yeah, it is what it is. Amit saying, while I'm in Toronto in July, I'm going to try to get my grandfather to get into your streams, Lex. He's been a Raptors fan since 1995 and had a season's pass until like the mid 2000s. Amazing, Amit. I love that you share that bond with your grandfather. And I love to hear that he's a day one, just like a lot of us on this channel. Yeah, I'd love for him to join this channel. Of course, this channel is very inclusive. And I'm not going to be ageist and say, yeah, no, don't bring your grandpa here. He's not cool. No, I'm sure he's one of the coolest grandpas around. So, yeah, do what you want to do, Amit. It's an open door to anyone who comes here. And I appreciate you maybe telling your grandpa about the channel. Yeah, it'd be very cool. He said, I don't know if he'll go for it, though. He's very stubborn sometimes, kind of like his grandson. Well, either way, I'm here as a resource. You know what I'm doing, 9:30 every morning. You guys can find me either way. The door's open. People can come and go as they want. And I'm just here as a resource to enrich the Raptors fan culture and keep things positive and spin things in the right way for the team, the organization, for our guy Masai, and everybody else to make sure that we're moving in the right direction and supporting the team in the right way so that they can win more Larry O'Briens and be very successful. That's right. That's all we care about right here. That's right. Mo saying, very awesome. Can't thank everyone enough for the gifts. Wow and wow. Yeah, Mo cleaned up. In some ways, I want to save this for tomorrow and talk about everything that Mo got and just everything how it went down. In some ways, like I said, I'm processing it still in my head. I'm thinking about how I want to go about talking about it. And we're going to do it tomorrow. Make it a whole stream because I don't want it to be overshadowed by the subject of today that we're doing on the special report. So yeah, Mo, we're going to do the rundown tomorrow. And I need a picture from you of everybody. I need that picture what we took of everyone that was there. Everyone, the RFF, and if we can get the picture with your friends too, that would be awesome. Tom Duke saying, good stuff, Mo. Good work, Raptor Freak family. 1,001. That's right. 1,001 today. 1,001 days in a row. 1,001 streams of Raptor Freak streams in a row. And I couldn't have done it without you guys. It's a 50-50 project. Me on the screen and y'all in the chat. And it's just, oh man, I love you guys so much. And yesterday was so awesome. Now, Tommy's saying Jonte was our tank commander. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I guess in some ways he added to the losses at the end of the season by being absent when we absolutely needed him, by him being not available mysteriously. And honestly, I'm still mad at him because he could see where the Raptors were in the situation they were in, and he could have really helped us. But instead, he was doing stupid things like taking himself out of the game on purpose. When I was watching those games when he did that, because I watched very, very closely, I was like, why is Jonte coming out of the game? Is this mysterious? I thought it was mysterious at the time. It did not seem natural. It didn't seem weird, especially the time when he took himself out because he re-injured his eye. I never saw anybody put a hand near his eye or anything in that game. There was no footage of him getting hit back in the eye and re-injuring his eye injury. And then when he came to Darko and said, I need to come out of the game because of my eye injury. And Darko said after the game, well, I listen to my players. When they say they need to come out of the game, I help them and I get them out of the game. So it's so screwed up. In some ways, he could have helped us win some of those games at the end of the season. And he's wrong for that. He's wrong for that. In some ways, that's an unforgivable sin, is not being there for your team when you could have been there for your team. There's so many players that get injured and wish they could be out there helping their team. And meanwhile, he was healthy. He could have helped the team, but he was doing some chicanery and shenanigans and some BS. So, yeah, that's an unforgivable sin. In some ways, as much as I like the player that Jonte was and the possibility of what he was, it's reprehensible, the character of what he did. But also we have to inform himself. He couldn't help himself because he's an addict. It's messed up. It's messed up so much. Tom Duke holding it down in Victoria, British Columbia. Our Raptor Freak family president of the West Coast, holding it down on BC side of things. That's right. Tommy's saying also, good morning, everyone. Wish I could have been present for the party. Yeah, Tom, you would have had a lot of fun. It was great. It was a fantastic party. And yeah, we missed your energy there too, my guy. And yes, we needed to return to the NBA restaurant with you specifically. Yeah, after the time you and I went there and I almost cussed out the Boston Celtics server that we had that they sent to our table. I'm like, what are they doing? Sending a Boston Celtics fan to the Raptor Freak table on the day of the in-season tournament when we're bound to play Boston in the in-season tournament and we're going to the restaurant to eat before the game and there's a Celtics server and he's talking trash to us before he even takes our drink order. Yeah, we got up and left the table. We got up and left, Tommy and I. I was like, yeah, I ain't going to deal with this. I can't tip this guy. I can't spend money here and have this guy bringing me my food. First of all, I don't trust him. I don't trust that guy wearing that green shirt and talking trash that the Celtics are about to kick the Raptors' ass in the in-season tournament. No, that was not cool. That was not cool. Tommy, we'll go back there again someday. I will say that all the employees there were not wearing team shirts at this point. So maybe they figured out that's not a good business model. To have an NBA restaurant in Toronto and your server's wearing a Boston Celtics shirt, no, that's not a good look. That's not a good look. Sorry. That's not a good look. Isaac's here. Good to see Isaac Campbell, the benevolent one, holding it down for us in the nation's capital of Ottawa. Isaac, what are you saying? And actually something very special from you happened yesterday. I will tell you tomorrow. I don't want to tell you today. Isaac saying, from an individual level, this is really sad. Addiction sucks, and gambling is merely a manifestation of poor mental health. Glad he is getting help. I wish mental health was part of public health care. Yeah, it should be. You're right. And I would advocate for that. I mean, whichever political party is advocating for more help, services, and public good, I'm all for that. Instead of going the other way where they're trying to privatize everything and bleed us dry by high costs like the United States. No, the United States healthcare is not the model we should try and like replicate up here, Doug Ford. So yeah, don't mess with our free healthcare in Canada. This is one of the better things about our country, and it makes us more civilized, just like some of the countries around the world that also have healthcare programs like Canada already does. Don't mess with something that ain't broke just because y'all are trying to make some more money. That's the problem in today's world in some ways, is everything's about bottom line and money, 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 money. And I ain't about that. I ain't about that at all. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm glad Jonte's getting help too. From the humanistic side, we have to think about, this is a young man. It's like Masai said, he thought about a bunch of different things when this thing happened. He thought about the team. He thought about Jonte personally as a person. He thought about everything from all aspects. And, you know, that's important. That's important because his life and everything that's happened to him in some ways is marked now. And, oh, man, it's such a high price to pay for really a mistake made in addiction. He couldn't stop. And Isaac, I love seeing your sympathies for him and understanding just you know, the whole side of it. Addiction sucks. It definitely does. Tom's saying dunk for Isaac. Addiction sucks. There you go. Yeah. All right. We'll give a dunk to Isaac Campbell for saying what he said from Tommy. Yeah. Where is he on the dunk sheet? Let's see what he's got at this point. He's got 67. You're 67 dunks this year, Isaac. Good stuff. Good stuff. I don't know a good thing. Who was 67? Nobody was wearing 67, I don't think. All right, let's keep going. Evelyn's here. Good to see Granny Evelyn. I got Granny Evelyn home okay last night. I was Uber Lex taking Evelyn and Adriana home. Isaac saying much love to Tom, and there's SB4. We love SB. Tommy's got Raptors Flamin' Heart, and yeah, I know your emoticon language and the dinosaur there. Here's Logical Raptors Fanatic. Good to see you, Mike. Project Truth always. I appreciate you and your YouTube channel, Logical Raptors Fanatic, breaking it down in logical ways, talking about Raptor stuff. On Tuesday, Major League Baseball banned San Diego Padres infielder Takapita Marcano for life for betting on the sport. 4 other players are suspended for 1 year for betting on MLB games. It's crazy. It is crazy. Now, I like that the NBA's hardlining on this, but we've got to understand there's gambling around sports anyway. We could think about the great Michael Jordan and just how much he gambled all the time. I know Charles Barkley gambled a lot too. And, you know, we recently found out from IQ on Friday night that one of the things he misses the most about playing for the Knicks is the card games behind the scenes with Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, and RJ Barrett. And, you know, that's innocuous. These are millionaires that play in the NBA and they want to gamble $10,000 on a card game. You know, that's their life. That's a right. That's privacy. But where's the slippery slope and where do you like stop it? And how do you know when to stop? And, you know, that's the thing. Where does it, can it bleed over? I mean, if I was Masai in the front office of the Raptors, when we're looking at draft prospects this year, we have to actually look at this aspect of players that are possible prospects. Would there be any telltale signs of somebody having some sort of issues like Jonte coming up? Because I'm telling you, this is something that's going to have to be standard for NBA front offices to look at. That, you know, besides all the regular profiling, personality profiling, the combine stats, they may need to look into social media accounts and also look into their behavior as far as things with gambling websites. Because you don't want something like this where you invest somebody in and you're counting on them to blow up in your face again, like what happened with Jonte this season. So yeah, it's a weird thing, and I bet that like people around sports are really murmuring about it and talking about it a lot more behind the scenes than we think. So let's see. Evelyn saying, "All right, let's see what Granny said." Good morning. We miss you, Tom, and rest of the family yesterday. Great time and great turnout because we love Mo. We really do, and the love was palpable in the restaurant yesterday. The love was all over. It was great to see family members of Mo. Mo's sister was there. We got to meet NECA yesterday. Oh, she's awesome. Next, I hope you are watching right now. And if you are, shout out to you. She's a good friend of Corey Joseph's. I got to talk to her a bit. She's fantastic. She's also a player who used to play basketball at a high level. So she has a lot of knowledge about basketball technically from playing. And it was just a joy to meet some of the people from Monique's other areas of her life that aren't totally intersecting with the Rap Freak family. And it was really cool. So hopefully we have some new subscriptions. And, you know, welcome to the RFF. This is what we do here. Yeah. Fiercey's here. Good to see Fiercey holding it down in Ottawa also. Our current, well, she's not the current leader in the trivia. She's behind by 20 points to Ahmed. Very, very serious competition. The finals are real. in our trivia, and it's going to go down the wire between Marie and Amit. I'm telling you. So, Fiercey, I have to message you after this chat, and I have to talk to you about something. And also, I need to figure out how long the season's going to go into the best person win. But yeah, Fiercey, good job continuing to play. And Amit also, very competitive finish to the season. Usually the season has a front runner that just blows everybody away. But having two people right at the top and so competitive, it's really, really exciting. Good morning, fam, and happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, Marie. Hope everything is nice and good weather out there. Naco the Nacho is here. Mental health and rehab should be funded by the government. Boom goes the dynamite. You know, taxes can go to all kinds of different things, roads, social programs, war. But I'd much rather see it stay here and go towards things that really help people. And I'm telling you, because of the pandemic, because of all kinds of different things, there is more mental health issues coming down the road for society in general. And we need to be more benevolent, like Isaac and and be caring and worry about this. And in some ways, Canada's a country that likes to take care of its citizens. Well, this may be an area where we really do need to start considering better access to mental health counseling and mental health resources as the prevalence of mental health issues increases, because the echoes and reverberations from the pandemic are not still totally felt. There's a lot of stuff in the years to come that there's trauma and there's different kinds of things that people are dealing with in difference. Like myself, I'm a shut-in. I have had problems with agoraphobia. I've had problems with leaving my house. I have social anxiety. Sometimes I have a really hard time getting the courage just to walk out the door to get my mail. And, you know, for the last 4 years when I was living in Leslieville, I was a shut-in. I did not leave my house the whole time during the pandemic. And more recently, I've been coming out and being in public, like yesterday, more often. And I'm telling you, these are mental health issues. And there are a lot of people like me that are in places that are probably hidden and people don't know about that are going to need help. And that's why I completely agree with Isaac and Gerald's stands on free healthcare for mental health issues, and that this is something to do. Nako, thank you for coming to the meet and greet yesterday for Monique's birthday. It was fantastic to see you, Gerald. And it really means a lot to Mo and myself that you showed up and celebrate her birthday with her. So good to see you, my friend. Fiercely saying, never been in that predicament, but I can surely understand it. Must be difficult to get out of an addiction. Love and light to whoever suffers. Well, you know, everybody's has like little fun things that maybe they're addicted to, but they're harmless. You can have harmless addictions. Like we joke about how Adriana's addicted to coffee. And so is Leo Routens, apparently, because Leo's always doing his life tips and he's always incorporating coffee into it. Here's Leo's life tip for today. Be kind, be thoughtful, be genuine, but most of all, be thankful. And I like that. Be kind. That's a good thing. You be kind. Sugar gets sugar. Sour gets sour. Trust me. Be thoughtful. You know, get out of your head. Don't be such an egomaniac. You're only thinking about it from your perspective. Maybe get out of your head and think about other people for once and be thoughtful of them. Be genuine. Yeah, in some ways, don't put on airs. Don't act like some fake version of yourself. Just be the real deal, Holyfield, of who you are. And, you know, people will gravitate to you, the right people. Sometimes if you're not genuine, you may get the wrong people because you're acting like you're somebody who you're not. But most of all, be grateful or be thankful. Yeah, I agree with this so much. The gratefulness and the thankfulness in your life is a part of what grounds you and makes you understand just how blessed and lucky you can be. Obviously, there's all kinds of different things going on in this world, and people are dealing with all kinds of things. And there's sadness, but there's also joy and happiness, and go towards that and just be thankful for the joy and happiness you have in your life. Because, you know, there are things and people that are suffering in all kinds of places all around the world. And if you don't have that perspective or understanding that, and you're just spoiled and so happy and just like, oh, but you're kind of a jerk to everybody. No, be thankful and be grounded in gratitude. That's what I'm saying. And of course, Leo's grateful for coffee. He enjoy a coffee. That's what he's always saying. So yeah, you can be addicted to coffee, and coffee is not really a horrible addiction. But yeah, everybody can be an addict at different levels. It's just whether that addiction destroys your life, like Jonte's. Yeah. Fiercey saying, heading to church for my niece's communion. Talk to you later, fam. So Fiercey's been in Montreal this weekend and with family. And I hope you have a fantastic time there. And congratulations to your niece on her communion. Yeah, Cowboy saying later, Fiercey. Yeah, adapt to her. Bap, bap. Smooth saying, good morning, all. I was reading that a fourth person has been arrested in the Jontay Porter case. Yeah, I don't really want to put their names on blast. It doesn't really matter what their names are. I would say who they are probably just like sports fans. Like I said, they're just guys that are on social media that were into sports betting and they saw an opportunity. And in some ways, these guys preyed on Jontay. In some ways, they were using him. And I don't know, maybe they're psychologically talking to him and saying, like, you know, you need to do this because you owe us the money. And Jontay's like, okay, I'll just pay you back. I'll get you back in these games real quick and you'll make the money off it. Okay, this is not very well thought out, Jontay Porter. But if this is his reasoning for why he did it was because he had a gambling debt to these gentlemen to try and help them make the money back, that's ridiculous, stupid, and crazy what you did. Seriously, crazy. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Cowboy saying, I find it odd that Jontay's brother or family didn't step in earlier to help him. You know, Cowboy, let's think about what's happening with the Porter family right now. We have two other brothers that are DUIs. One's gone to prison for manslaughter, for killing people by driving intoxicated. It sounds like this family does not have very good direction right now. Now, I know the father is a coach, and he is somebody who should be a good role model and teaching, but there's so many siblings in that family. They have older sisters that are very much good people, and they're pros. They play basketball, and they have no problems. Michael Porter Jr., obviously NBA champion and doing very well in his NBA career. But those younger brothers, for some reason. Now, I would say this could be very similar to the Von Erich family in wrestling. David Von Erich was the best Von Erich brother, and he was not the oldest, but Kevin was. But these guys had a standard of the older brother to try and match. So there may be some pressure on the younger Porter brothers to be as good as Michael. And that is part of it, maybe. In some ways, the pressures could lead into addictive personalities, and they have addictive qualities in their DNA already. Then, you know, they pick up a drink and they can't stop because the DUIs portend to alcoholism. And the younger brothers who have been getting in trouble with driving drunk, that's the same thing. So addiction runs in families and DNA. And, you know, in some ways, look, yeah, get a handle on things. Like, you know, we need to start bailing the water out on this ship with the Porter family because things are really, really bad. And you need to get that water from coming out on the boat. So much things are happening with them. It's tragic and sad. And in some ways, I feel really bad for their whole family. Michael Porter Jr., the father, the parents, everybody, because there's all these tragedies coming so quick at them in the last few months. Yeah, and it's crazy. It didn't even help that one of the younger brothers went out and got a DUI after all this happened. So it's just, addiction is a problem. And the Porter family has a problem with it. I don't know what they could have done. Maybe the dad's too busy with his coaching career and he's not on top of his family as much as, I don't know. It's not his fault. These are young men. They should be adults and controlling their own life, right? So I don't know. I don't know, Cowboy. It's a good question, especially with so many siblings, older siblings. Where's the mentoring? Where's the relationships that are helping these young men from making poor decisions is what I would say. Yeah. Mike's saying a legalization of gambling and weed were done for other reasons beside money. The criminal gang element controlling different markets increased power and increased violence from rival gangs wanting the money. All right, Mike's going on another slant with worrying about gangs and stuff like that. I'm not going to say this from this slant. I mean, we can take it from that perspective, but I don't totally agree with you coming from that direction, blaming gangs and organized crime. No, this is not what this is, Mike. Once again, you brought this slant originally. This is a couple of goofy guys who are online who like to sport bet, and they just happen to know Jontay Porter, and this is how this happened. Now, talking about cannabis, well, cannabis is not like organized crime, really. It's the guy down the street that looks like me that grows in his basement with grow lights. So in some ways, you're feeding fear of criminality and gangs and organized crime is silly. They need a boogeyman to scare people and think that the police need more funding and all the problems in the world are based on criminals. That's absolute horse crap. The problems come from the top, Mike. And I'm going to say that again. You're being diverted to a red herring to think that the blame is all on this and this, whether it's the snatch and grab robberies you're bringing up the other day or the way you're coming at it with this slant. It's a diversion. They're baiting and switching and you're falling for it. So you go ahead and think that. No, it is the money. It is about making. All right. The reason why they did weed is just this one, because the guys like me that can make weed and sell it themselves can enrich themselves. You don't need anybody to make weed. Weed is a freedom plant. And you could grow it and people can sell it and they can't control it. But the way they do control it is legalizing it and make it only Ontario weed is legal. And if you don't have that weed, if you have illegal weed, you can go to jail for that. So that's how they did it. They wanted to hedge the market and take the little guy out of the business. That's what it is, Mike. It is still that. You're going to blame crime and organized crime and stuff like that. You're off base. You're taking the bait from them, the people that want to divert you from the real problem. And that's the powers that be at the top that want to make the money corporately and through the government and through the politicians. So, yeah, when you bring up gangs and stuff like that, I'm like, whatever, Mike. Your gang stuff is stupid. And I'm going to respectfully disagree with you when you say this stuff. Tom's saying, if I don't do a special with your terms, then it's up and you hate me. And if I don't get you 8K by Friday, you're coming to Toronto to beat me up, Jonte said in a text. Brooklyn prosecutors going hard. Where are you finding this, Tom? I've never seen this quote anywhere in what I'm looking at. It's not on the article from ESPN, so I'm not sure where you got this. So I'm not prepared to react to this because I'm not even sure who's saying this. So I don't know what this means. Is this Jonte's quote or what? He said that in a text to the Brooklyn prosecutors? I don't know. I'm confused, Tom. I've never seen that quote before. Nako's saying, the Porters seem kind of wild just in general. I think they knew and didn't do anything. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they thought, in some ways they could be like kind of a family that's kind of like, we're above everything and we can do whatever we want. We're above everything. And maybe they're like, yeah, Jonte's just smart. He's just making money gambling. And they didn't really think things through. I mean, there's different levels of kind of intelligence. Some people will say I'm really stupid. But honestly, there's some intelligence I have. And then maybe there are some blind spots for me. It's the same thing with the Porter family. Maybe they're really good and athletic, but there are blind spots with them with their intelligence. Let's just so to speak. So that's kind of what I would think it is. Tommy's saying Jonte amassed significant gambling debts by the beginning of 2024, and the unnamed defendant prodded him to clear his obligations by doing a special. Yeah, that's how it came about. Oh, it's so gross. In some ways, that's not what I want to talk about today, Tom. I want to talk about the gambling addiction side. But yeah, all the nuts and bolts of how it went and why he did it and stuff like that. I don't need the exact specifics. I think I got the picture. Whether they coerced him, strong-armed him or threatened him, or whether he offered up saying, yeah, you know what, guys, to pay you back, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. The fact that he conceded and did it is the problem. Yeah, he could have said no, possibly. I mean, obviously he should have. He should have called NBA security and gotten them involved. Or if he offered up to do that, well, that's a dumbass right there. Nameless is saying, I'm addicted to love and happiness. I love that, Nameless. I'm going to give you a dunk. Yeah, all right, Al Green. Love and happiness. Something's going wrong. I'm on Bet Rivers and I'm betting. So I'm going to give Nameless a dunk real quick. Yeah. Love and happiness. I love that song by Al Green. Yeah, there we go. 32. Magic Johnson. You got the Magic Johnson number, Nameless, on the dunk charts. That's right. I love it. Mike saying they decriminalized alcohol again to stop the crime kingpins from getting more and more money and power. Well, the prohibition and all that stuff. All right. That's such a long time ago. And you've got to understand the Depression, and there's all kinds of other different factors that had to do with the era of prohibition like 100 years ago. Now, there's some interesting things. I disagree with Doug Ford putting alcohol in all the corner stores. That is the same kind of thing. It's access for addicts. And knowing, one of the things I loved about moving back to Canada from the States was that at every corner store, there wasn't beer in my face. Well, that's going to change according to Doug Ford, and I hate it. In some ways, the way that they do alcohol in Canada is way better than the States, and they are going to have more problems with drinking and driving because of this. Down in the States, you could have a drive-through beer barn where you could, in Tallahassee, they have one called Mike's Beer Barn on Tennessee Street. You could drive in and buy the beer from your car and just get it through the window like you bought a Happy Meal. It's crazy. I'm just saying, in some ways, the government is supposed to protect the people from things. And I think the system up here with how we handle alcohol is already fine. And him putting alcohol in every single street corner just for money or just for some Homer Simpson votes and the election coming up, it's a cheap gimmick. And in some ways, I despise it because it's insidious on a down low way. Yeah. Mike, man. once again, if you're going to go at who you think is criminals, that's a boogeyman. That's made up. They made that stuff up to make you afraid and to throw the trail off of them. And if you want Scooby do this and you want to walk over there and take that mask off them, it's the rich old white man at the top of the CEO corporation that you should be talking to, not the street guy on the street that's just trying to peddle something. No, those guys aren't the problems. Trust me. The problem is institutionalized, and it starts at the top. And Mike, blaming the little guy or blaming the gangs or stuff like that, that's a boogeyman they made up for you to divert from them doing what they're doing. And I'll say that every single time, Mike. Tom's saying, sweet action, nameless. Yeah, happiness, love, and happiness. Now, I will say, Mike, I want to warn you. I'm going to try and be less political in the future. And some people have been dismissed from this channel and being around here for bringing up politics too much and also having crazy-ass politics that are just not like conducive to humanity and what is true and right. And I'm telling you right now, if you're going to push right-wing punditry kind of talking points on my channel, I'm going to ask you not to do it anymore. So don't start blaming gangs anymore in here. The problems are not gangs. Gangs can get blamed for all kinds of stupid stuff, but not this. Trust me, not this. Shere Khan is here. Raptor Freak Rookie of the Year, Shere Khan, a star of Raptors Tonight chat. Always bringing the good questions for Randy Urban and the guys on the Raptors Tonight after postgame. And he's here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. It's become a type of epidemic with moving online and people losing their life savings on their mobiles. I never wanted to drink, smoke, or gamble. Just didn't have the urge, but not same with others. Yeah, it's scary. It's just that these are, man, the access is what's scary. You know, the problems in the United States with gun violence are the access to the guns. With gun laws here, the access is different. And we have different outcomes with accidental deaths or suicides or even murders or any kind of things because the prevalence of guns is not as bad as in the States. So I'm telling you, access can get you in trouble in all kinds of different ways. And that's whether it's gambling or guns. Yeah, Shere Khan, respect. Always good to see you, my guy. I'm going to give you a dunk just for coming in and saying hi to us, my guy. Always good to see you show up. You're at 27. 27 dunks for Shere Khan. There you go. Cowboy saying alley-oop to Nameless. Yeah, I got him one already, but if you want me to do it again, I'll go ahead and give Nameless another one. You're at 33. You got the Antonio Davis 33, my guy. There you go. Isaac Campbell saying NCAA president is calling for an end to prop betting as more than 1/3 players experience abuse by bettors now. See, that's crazy, and that is unnecessary, and that's why I think this is ridiculous. I mean, can we meet in the middle? You crazy capitalists that just want to bleed us dry of all our betting money. Can we meet in the middle? Can we outlaw prop betting? Because seriously, it seems like it's the biggest problem here because once again, it puts an individual bullseye on a player for them not making a particular bet or a particular stat. And that's no good. Put it all on the team. And then also it's harder for an individual player to manipulate any kind of bets in the kind of way that Jontay Porter did. So, I mean, people just need to think about this. And the NCAA president is saying this. He's a hero to me. And because we need to have some pushback on this. We can't just let corporations come into spaces in our world and just do whatever the hell they want and just run roughshod over humanity. And that's the problem. Whether they do it to the environment, whether they do it because they build a big whole ugly thing that's next to a neighborhood and everybody's getting sick and getting cancer. That's what I'm talking about right now. And in some ways, there is some sort of insidiousness in legalized gambling that they're going to profit off, and they will not care about the human cost. And that's a problem right there. That's right. That's a problem. All right, let's keep going with what's going on here. Yeah, I love all the chat so far today. It's very, very good. And let's see. Where are we on the chat? I lost my place for a second. I'll make sure I get everything. I'm going to do a regular stream today. Let's see. All right, there's the classic card answer. Smooth got the answer. Amit saying if he was in a Warriors jersey, I would have known. Okay, so you know Eric Floyd when he was on the Golden State Warriors, but not on the Rockets. Okay, interesting. Georgetown. That's right. He's a Georgetown guy. He actually played with Patrick Ewing when he was on the Hoyas. Yeah, Sleepy Floyd and Patrick Ewing are in the mid-'80s for the Georgetown Hoyas. Yeah. Isaac saying there is a wild Netflix doc called Bad Sport that tells the NCAA betting story of Stephen Hedek Smith. You guys should watch this one. He bet on his games, but on spreads. Interesting, man. The thing that makes me the most mad about Jonte, other than what he did, is that he bet against the Raptors to win. That's awful. Well, you get what you get, Jonte. You lost those bets. You shouldn't have bet against the Raptors. That's right. Most saying, Shir Khan, here, amazing. Glad you're back in. Yeah, we were worried because it seemed like you were out of the channel because somebody banned you by accident, but I unbanned you. So yeah, we're very happy you're back. Smooth saying, if I'm remembering correctly, the Rockets traded Ralph Sampson to the Golden State Warriors for Sleepy Floyd and Joe Barry Carroll. That sounds right. That sounds right. That sounds right there. G saying, hope you had an awesome day, Mo. Addiction clearly runs in the Porter family. Yes. Yes, just like mine. There's addiction that runs through my family also. And that's why I have to be very aware of it. And, people in my family should try and look out for some of the things that are going on with different family members because it can be hereditary. This is true. Nako's saying, I don't follow WNBA super close, but from what I know, Cameron Brink is better than Caitlin Clark. Cameron Brink and Caitlin Clark are very different players. Caitlin Clark is a guard who shoots threes, and Cameron Brink is a front court player that blocks shots. So they're different flavors of ice cream, Gerald. And well, they're going to have their own different paths and different shine that they're going to get. I think both will be stars as things go on. But yeah, in some ways, Cameron Brink is not getting the same kind of press as Clark or Reese. But I'm betting over time that will happen. That will happen. Yeah. Good. Interesting question. And yes, we're going to start following that WNBA a lot closer as we get closer to Kilmer Group's new team, the WNBA team that we just recently got awarded here in Toronto. I'm so excited about this. And I am very excited about learning the WNBA. And I know Mo and a lot of other super fans are interested in learning more and more about that league also. Alan Tam has come in and dropped his 12-man roster for Paris Olympics for Canada. Once again, he has cut and paste and dropped it in here. He really wants Wiggins on the team, and he also sees Corey Joseph making a Team Canada for Paris this year also. So it'd be very interesting to see who the final team is and what Rowan Barrett Sr. decides with Jordy Fernandez, the squad that they want representing Canada in Paris. I'm excited. A lot of the other teams are coming together already. Of course, we know the USA team. Other teams are getting their invites in, and we're hearing big, huge NBA names involved in all kinds of places, whether it's Siakam with Cameroon. I heard recently, Jokic will be there for Serbia. Some really, really big names. Even Jeremy Sohan is going to be playing for Poland this summer to try and help them qualify. So there's some of the qualifying tournaments are going on now for the last couple spots to play at Paris in the big enchilada of the Olympics. That's right. Yeah. Alan Tam, bam, son. Oh, Alan, you and your copy paste. G saying, I have been watching Caitlin is better. She's like Steph Curry without Clay and Dre. Cameron will be amazing, but she doesn't self-create. Yeah, I could see her being a really good rebounder and kind of like just a really kind of defensive threat kind of from her player type. She's an interesting player, and I've loved what she's been saying publicly recently about inclusion and about things, how she sees the different WNBA players and their personalities and stuff. So yeah, I think that there's enough for everybody. There needs to be multiple superstars for the WNBA, just like the NBA. Yeah, Cowboys saying that's a nice team. Yeah. David's Dap and Shir Khan. That's right. Dap. And Alan's saying, I cut and pasted again. We knew you did. We knew you did that. David's saying, Cowboy, did you show up? No, he never made it. He was in Barrie, and he couldn't make it all the way down. David said he called him. A dunk at Allen. All right, we'll give a dunk to Allen. One of the interesting things that happened yesterday, guys, and I guess I'll talk about it right now, is one of Monique's friends is an usher. And she was at the meet and greet yesterday. And I was talking about Darko being in our stream last year. In the summer, in the middle of last year, when he just got hired, and he is still putting the groundwork, looking for his coaches and looking around and kind of getting his bearing as the brand new head coach of the Toronto Raptors. Darko Rajakovic appeared in the stream with his picture and his name spelled correctly. And he very much spoke in a voice that sounded authentic, like it was him. Now, on this channel, I don't know who's talking to me. Y'all could come in here and say that you're Justin Trudeau, and I would act like you're Justin Trudeau because I don't know if you're Justin Trudeau or not, and I don't want to be disrespectful. So last year, I played along the whole entire time, and we wondered, is this really Darko or not? Some of the things he said would be what he would have said, and he didn't joke around. And he didn't break character either. So if it was some guy impostoring as Darko Rajakovic and just kind of coming in here and trying to play a joke on us, well, I said, okay, play a joke on me. Fool me once, fool me twice. I don't care. I can only take it at face value for who you are when you show up in the chat. Well, Monique's friend, who's an usher, who's around the team a bit and has insider knowledge and kind of knows personalities around the team very well in some ways, thinks that because of Darko's personality and what she's observed, she's pretty sure that that actually was the real, authentic Darko Rajakovic that was frequenting our chat for a couple weeks last year, in around this time, actually last year. So that's pretty amazing. And it makes sense. Darko's so thorough and he's so about connecting. He's going to go and connect with his players. He wanted to connect with the fan base. And he did a YouTube search and he found us. And well, he wanted to see what we were all about. So, Coach Rajakovic, we love you. We're huge supporters of you. And I am doing everything I can to fight for your honor and integrity and the war of perception as far as whether you're a good coach or not. I know you're a good coach. I know it because I am educated in basketball. I know what coaches do, and I've seen what you've been building this year already. And, there's a lot of fans out there that think they know what they're talking about, and they'll just look at the record. And they don't really understand what's going on. I mean, Masai and Bobby said at the end of the year that they're very pleased with what Coach Rajakovic did this season, other than the record. But, otherwise, what he built in the atmosphere and the changes of energy around the team was night and day from the start of the season to the end. So I would say this, Coach Rajakovic was a success. And we have to remember that Coach Casey, in his first year as the Toronto Raptors coach in the very beginning of his coaching career, which was long with the Raptors, he won about the same amount of games as Darko did this year. And it was all up from there, all the way up to the championship eventually by 2019. Yeah. So I'm just going to say that. You can look at what Casey did with the Raptors his first year, and Darko's first year is similar, just so you know. Yeah. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Isaac's saying, David, you called Tada. Yeah, you know the number here, David. Just call Tada, 647-833-6844, and you'll get Bradley. And Bradley can come and help you with whatever you need. If you need a heavy couch lifted, you need to clean your gutters. You need to wash some windows. That's what they do. They just come and help anybody who needs that kind of help. There you go. Let's see. Nako's saying, are we still allowed to check it out, prospects? Have we checked out Tristan da Silva? All right. Yeah, we're still doing this, Gerald. We'll do our scout of the day. I'm watching. I don't really follow college basketball at all. So I don't really know much about the players that are coming up, and I do a blind scout. It's kind of like a music reaction on players that you guys bring me. And we've done quite a few players for this draft coming up already, but I have not looked at Tristan. So we will go ahead and do it right now. So Gerald has called for our scout of the day. Let's see. Let's go look at this guy, and I'll give you my first impressions of Tristan. Tristan da Silva is a German college basketball player for the Colorado Buffaloes, and he is currently 23 years old. He is born in Munich. Very interesting. He is 6'8", and he is a power forward, small forward. Okay. His older brother Oscar plays at Stanford, and he plays professionally for Barca, FC Barca over in Spain now at this point. All right, let me go find a YouTube clip. Interesting look to him. I'm wondering about his muscle, just the initial picture I'm seeing of him right now. But yeah, let's go find a highlight clip of him, a short one, and I'll watch how he looks on the court. Tristan da Silva. There we go. All right, and I'll get about a minute and a half clip. He's dropping 20 points on Boise State in a game 2 months ago. All right, let's see what this is all about. All right, where is he? He is, I'm going to guess he's on defense here. Oh, there's a steal. He kind of got his hand in there. Oh, there he is. He cut down the lane and got the layup. Okay, so that was set up by his teammate, but he made a really nice cut and caught it and laid up. All right, there's some length coming up and under, using the basket as a guard. He's got nice long arms. I will say that. I want to see him take a jump shot, though. All right, here he is coming around the screen at the top. He does a turnaround. Okay, he did a little hezzy. Now he's coming around. He likes to go to the basket. I still like to see him take something outside of like right by the basket. But he is a little bit of banger. He doesn't have a lot of size, though, in some ways. He's very skinny, and he's going to have to be stronger if he's going to play in the NBA. Let's see. Where is he on this play? Okay, is that him taking a three? No, he got blocked. That guy got blocked. He blocked a guy on a three-pointer, so that's very Boucher, right there. In some ways, I'm seeing comparisons to Boucher on this guy, at least the player type and the body type. That's a nice lob from his teammate. Now, a lot of what he's doing on offense is because his teammates are setting him up. I'm not seeing him set himself up, but that was a nice collection of the ball and with the defender on his back and still making sure it went in. Here he is. All right, is that a three by him? Okay, we finally see a three by him. Catch and shoot three. Pretty good form. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, he got it up over. The guy was right at him, so he did it with the hand in the face. I don't know. In some ways, I don't like his slight frame. Oh, that one's a bit further out from the three. He took one that was a little bit further out, and he was pretty money. The stroke looks good. Now, I don't know what his percentages are with his stats as far as things. But yeah, he's definitely it seems like he's got a promising shot. And he does have stuff around the basket. I'm just worried about his frame. I'm going to say that right now. I'm just worried about his frame. He's the kind of project that's going to need to hit the weight room and get more muscle on him if he's going to be able to play in the NBA. But not a bad player. There's other players that are similar to him in this draft that I like better, like the kid from G League Ignite, Tyler Smith. And I could see a lot of comparisons between those two players. But thanks for bringing the scout of the day, Naco the Nacho, Tristan da Silva. Yeah, German Tristan da Silva. Yeah. Trevor J saying, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. We're going to have 3 All-Stars next year, Scotty, RJ, and IQ. It will be the first in NBA history for us. Man, there's been multiple All-Stars from teams in the past. There's been like 4 for a team before. So this is not a record for the league. It will be the record for the Raptors franchise. But this is not realistic, Trevor. I'm going to say this again. The All-Stars, to get 2 All-Stars is tough enough. We've had it happen a few times in our history. To get 3 is very rare. It's just there's too many teams in the league, and we're going to expand to more teams, Adam Silver is saying, and there's just not going to be they're going to give it to Scotty, and then they may alternate and give it to RJ or Emmanuel, kind of like what they were doing with Kyle and DeMar in the mid-2010s. So we'll have to see how it goes. If we are a top team in the Eastern Conference around the All-Star voting, we may get more promise in getting 2, but getting 3 is a stretch, Trevor. And we actually talked about this with Emmanuel on Friday night, that RJ deserves to get an All-Star. We know Scotty's an All-Star, and we were saying that IQ's an All-Star too, and all in good time. IQ's going to go for that and try and get it. And I believe these guys, all 3, will be All-Stars at some point. But getting them all the same year, that's not likely. I'm just going to say that, Trevor, with all respect. Cowboys saying, and Grady, most improved player, is 6 man. Hey, these are great goals to have. IQ was talking about this on Friday night, that he's going to write up his goals for the next year very soon. He has a vision board. And this was a really cool part of what we talked about on Friday, him and I. I talked about pre-visualization. Pre-visualization is really important in sports. IQ brought up Michael Phelps. He started talking about how he studied Michael Phelps, and when he swims, he thinks about every possible outcome and situation that can happen while he's swimming, and he prepares himself mentally for if that happens. Well, NBA players that are smart do this too. And I read the book by Magic Johnson a long time ago where he had a whole chapter on pre-visualization and how important it was to his success in his NBA career. NBA players that dream about the NBA and think about, well, if I'm in this situation and this is where these guys and the placement on the court, and if this happens and this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'll be successful. Pre-visualization can pre-visualize success, and it's such a powerful tool. And I asked Emmanuel, when you're sitting before the game on the bench with your eyes closed, which we see you on camera sometimes, are you pre-visualizing then? He's saying, no, more I'm just clearing my head and meditating, much like Chris or Scotty does on game days to get themselves ready to play too. So yeah, he's really clearing his head and just getting in a right vibe to be able to start playing. But pre-visualization is something that NBA players probably do on their off time all the time. You know, in some ways you could say playing 2K is kind of like pre-visualizing and putting in theory some of the things you might do on the court in a simulator kind of way. So yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. It's very, very interesting kind of things. All right, where am I on this? Let's see. No, Cowboy did not make it. Amit saying Taj Gibson, he was number 67. Taj Gibson's a 67? I didn't realize that. He may be like one of the only 67s in the history of the NBA. Seriously. That's not a very common number for sure. G saying Jason Kidd calling Brown the Celtics' best player. It's true, but also is he trying to stir the pot? Well, that's the game plan I've been using for a few years, G. Yeah. The NBA obviously wants to dote on Jason Tatum first with the Celtics. And hey, yeah, as much as I'm a spin machine for the Raptors, I will spin against other teams in this league, much like they do against us. And I've said for years, but I do truly, honest believe this, just like Jason Kidd does, that Jaylen Brown's the best player on the Celtics. In some ways, that is, yeah, very toxic and kind of does stir the pot. And Jason Kidd's smart for utilizing this in this series. So, yeah, he's just using a tactic that I've used for a couple years now on this channel. And I don't mind talking about it and putting it out in open, but I believe it's true too. I think that they've overly honored Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown has been in his shadow for too long. I was very happy to see Jaylen Brown win the Eastern Conference MVP for the last round. That was a step in the right direction, because in some ways he is not getting all the accolades he should be getting in some ways because of Jason. And that's just how it is. Hey, call it what you want, stir in the pot, whatever you want. It's true, but also it is being used as an advantage. And speaking of the finals game today, let's do the ref check real quick. I've got a referees, and I was right, y'all. I predicted this like 3 days ago, that the referee, the crew chief for today's game would be Tony Brothers. And I'm exactly right. Tony Brothers is the crew chief today in Boston. He will be running things with John Goble and Bill Kennedy, our favorite Bill Kennedy. We love you, Billy. Billy is a karaoke master. Bill Kennedy is one of the greatest referees in the history of the NBA. We love Bill Kennedy. Not all refs are bad. Some refs are. I love Tony Brothers personally. I hate Scott Foster. I hate Ed Malloy, but I love Tony Brothers and I love Bill Kennedy. So it's a good crew. And in some ways, I'm going to say this. If the NBA really wants to have good things happening, well, in some ways, things can be finagled. I know Celtics fans are not thrilled waking up this morning to find out that Tony Brothers is going to be refereeing the game for them today. I know they're not, because they don't like him. And they know that Tony Brothers might be calling it in certain ways. I looked forward to a bounce back by Luka and Kyrie today. And hey, I'm going to predict it right now. If you're going to ask the Raptor Freak who's winning the game in the finals today, it's going to be the Mavericks even up the series in Boston on their home court. And why would you say that, Lex? Because Celtics really kicked their butt in the first game. Well, adjustments, Jason Kidd, pride, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and also the pattern that's shown in this playoff so far with the Celtics in each round is they win the first game, and then they drop the second game at home in game 2, and the series is even. They did that in 2 rounds already in this playoffs. So why wouldn't that pattern hold? So get ready for an even series tonight, 1-1, and the finals are going to get really hot after that. Watch. Yeah, Tony Brothers is not friendly to the Celtics. Go Mavs. Go Mavs. That's right. Go Mavs. That's right. David's saying, great party yesterday. Thanks for arranging that, Mo and Lex. Yeah, I just promoted it, and you guys came, and Mo arranged a lot of it. Jackie, of course, Mo's mother, was hugely instrumental to everything going on the way it did. And yeah, it was fantastic. And the joy on everybody's face yesterday, it made it so worth everything. Oh my gosh, what a great time. And David, I'm going to start calling you Saint David soon, because man, you were a saint yesterday. And what you did was so special and important. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. I don't want to divulge the details of what happened yesterday. We're going to make Mo's birthday continue on into tomorrow on our live stream tomorrow. We're going to do part 2, and that will be live on her actual birthday on this. Yeah, so we can virtually celebrate it still. Cowboys got Mo on blast here, and the emoticons that Tommy made and put on the channel. Nako saying Drew Holiday said Kidd might be right. Drew Holiday on the same team is saying that as a Celtic? Wow. Well, Drew Holiday, I have a lot of respect for. He's one of the best guys in the league. It's just as a person, a human being. Yeah, I would agree with him. Yeah, David's agreeing with Jason Kidd. Cowboy agrees. And Tom Duke saying Tatum and Brown both suck. Okay, he doesn't agree. He just hates the Celtics. And well, what a great Raptor Freak. That's the normal reaction. Yeah, good job, Tom. I'm going to give you a dunk for saying they both suck. We're positive fans, but, we're positive for the Raptors. We're not necessarily positive for the Celtics. 65 dunks for Tom Duke. There you go. There you go. Amit saying, I'm thinking of buying a lot of basketball cards, trying to get a Victor Wembanyama rookie card. Yeah, that would be a good investment, Amit. I mean, seriously, collectibles are weird. Collectibles are worth something in all kinds of different ways. Some of it is about rarity and how often. I mean, we've seen a Michael Jordan card recently get auctioned off for $3 million. But there was singularly the only one in the whole entire world, the Logo Man card. I'm telling you, Amit, there may be a Victor Wembanyama card out there that could be like a little bit of a life savings for you at some point if you do acquire it. So I will not tell you not to do this if you're going to buy a box of new cards and find a Victor Wembanyama rookie card of some sort of speciality. Yeah, Cowboys saying alley-oop to Tom Duke. We got him already. I know you want to do you got the same John Stockton assist mindset as me, lobbing it to different people at the same time, Cowboy. All right, we'll give him a double dunk. Yeah, because you're calling your own. All right, 66 for Tommy. Tommy, you're at 66 now. All right, let's see. Tommy's saying, boom, let's go. That's right. He's feeling good now that he's gotten his Celtic hate out. Cowboys saying, let's go, Raptors. That's right. Look at that. We got the Vince Carter Raptor logo, and then we got Darko, Masai, myself, and Mo. It's just Mo, myself, and Masai. It's just Mo, myself, and Masai. Some De La Soul, Weird Al going on here. Yeah, it's just Mo, myself, and Masai. I love that parody. It's so good. It's like I talk about the real ones, and it's just Mo, myself, and Masai. I love that song so much. All right, Davis is saying it's not a good thing what Jonte did unless these psychos were threatening his family's safety and he didn't want to risk it. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's that much pressure was on him. Like, once again, let's not like make this a movies thing where like we're thinking in a Martin Scorsese movie. This is not what happened here. We're talking about guys that look like us, people that are just sports fans that are in the gambling world. And I'm telling you, it's all through social media and chat boards. There's no big, heavy guy with a gun who came to his house and said, yeah, I'm going to murder your sister if you don't do this for me, Jonte. There's none of that bullshit. This is chat boards. This is people on Reddit talking to each other in comments. And Jonte, I don't know. He did not have any threats to his life. If he did, he needed to go immediately to the team and the NBA and get security on this. There's nothing like this, Nameless. I'm telling you, there's nothing like this. It's just him casually talking to these guys and trying to be in the betting culture with these guys. And these guys being maybe a little smarter and a little bit opportunist and getting them to agree to do something so horribly stupid. Yeah, I think that's more likely what it is. We can sensationalize things because of media and seeing TV and movies and Law and Order, SUV, and Criminal Minds, all you want. But that's not what this is. This is ordinary sports fans that like to gamble, that saw an opportunity with an NBA player, and they utilized it. So, and Jonte was not smart enough to take the resources that were available to him through the team and the NBA to stop this before he was in trouble in criminality. Yeah, Cowboys saying, I seen that a lot of teams are going to be interested in our 31st pick, and I agree, since it's on the second day and the Raptors and the other teams have 24 hours to pick the player they want. What do you think? That's an interesting way of thinking about it. Is there an advantage to having a reprieve of time from the first night of the draft, not going immediately into the second round like they've done in the past? This is the first year we're doing this, but they start the second day of the draft at 4 p.m. on the next day. I believe it's a Wednesday and a Thursday at the end of this month. And well, that may be true, but I think that in general, that pick is very valuable just because of the change in pay from the first to second round. And that's the first pick with the lower tiered price bracket on those players. It's like the 31st pick won't be much different from the 30th pick as far as talent and skills, but they will get paid differently. And that's part of the value of it. Maybe the break and being able to hobnob and talk about what they want to do with the Raptors front office with that pick at that point is true, that they get a little bit of extra time on the clock. But in some ways, I think it really is just the price differential between a first round pick and a second round pick on as far as contract. That's the most attractive about this. And once again, an NBA team's salary cap is a puzzle piece. And that in some ways, having the 30th pick instead of the 31st pick would be bad for the cap, because that's more money having to go to a player that we could pay cheap for just one pick later. So yeah, that part of the deal with New York was fantastic. And that's why I love that deal with New York so much. As much as I loved OG and Precious and, Malachi, whatever. But getting two starters and the first pick in the second round, that draft, that trade right there was a Masai classic, like one of his best that he's ever done. Honestly, seriously. And we're going to find out when we see who the 31st pick is. That's right around where we got Koloko. And think about the promise that Koloko was and the value around that area in the draft. And so I'm very excited about it. But that's an interesting aspect to bring up, Bradley, that they have extra time to deliberate over who they want to select because of the pause between the first and second round. Yeah, that's very interesting. Nameless is saying, I'll take a few years behind bars if it means my family's safety. I mean, hey, everybody's got their own choices and like there are different things or how they would decide things. I mean, I'm not totally understanding what you're saying, but yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Many people have made those tough choices in their lives in different circumstances. Yes. Let's see. Mike's saying, I'm not blaming anyone. I lived in that world for years. I understand how things go. Some of he went to guns to protect the business from others that were in the robbing trade. Well, I just want to say there is a lot of media out there that just tries to blame criminality for everything. Once again, criminality and problems in society are caused by inequality, caused by people not being able to feed their children, caused by not having money for rent, caused by not having their basic needs met. Every single country in this world that has citizens that have their basic needs met do not have a lot of the social problems that North America faces. And that is the thing. I just went to Estonia. The cops barely handle guns. Nobody's worried about getting mugged. You know why? Because the society takes care of itself. The people are taken care of with healthcare and education, and they live good lives. They have good quality of life. Well, we have enough in our society for everybody in abundance to have a good life. It's just there's really, really greedy people that are hoarding resources and money at the top. And if we had UBI, universal basic income, a lot of criminality and social problems would go away, Mike. So once again, you can blame the problem right where it happens on the instant of the crime, but let's blame the source and let's go to the place where it starts. And that is where we change society and we get to a better place. The evidence and the role models are all around the world, but the arrogance of this particular continent, especially the United States, with Canada also acting like the United States, is the problem. And you know what? I'm just telling you, you take care of your people, you don't have a lot of these issues. So that's what I'll say right there. Tom saying that is a text from Jonte to one of the guys that were strong arming Jonte into doing the cheating. It's from a Brooklyn prosecutor's investigation. Okay, Tom, thank you for the context. Let me read it again then real quick. I want to read it. So this is Jonte texting the guy that's trying to tell him to do what to do. All right, where is that Tom comment? I want to make sure I see it. All right. If I don't do a special with your terms, then it's up and you hate me. And if I don't get it, you 8K by Friday, you're coming to Toronto to beat me up. Okay. So they were sending him messages like that. That is ridiculous. And first of all, Jonte, you're almost 7 foot tall. Jonte, you come from a family of very big people. And once again, isn't there like John Attilia or somebody like that hanging around? I mean, seriously, come on. Seriously, this doesn't have to be a movie. This doesn't have to be a movie. You don't have to go along with the plot and try and do some crazy ass movie plot just to make your life better. Go talk to the authorities. Do the right thing at the right time. The fact that you want to keep this under wraps or any of these guys is stupid. And it got so bad at the point that you're now banned for life. Yeah, this is crazy. If they actually were threatening him, I wouldn't listen to them. I'm the big guy myself. If some dude in New York's telling me he's going to come to Toronto and beat me up, I'm not listening to him. I'm not scared. He's probably all talk. You going to come all the way to this country? First of all, are you a felon? You ain't going to even get into Canada. You ain't going to get into Canada. Just like Donald Trump shouldn't be allowed to come into Canada ever again. We don't let felons up here. So most people that want to break people's arms or legs in the United States are not even allowed at the border. So, yeah, and people say, well, they'll find a way. Oh, don't boogeyman criminality with me. Nah, I can take care of myself. And Jonte, he should have been smarter and not so scared of them. If I'm not, I wouldn't be scared in that situation. Why would he be scared in this situation? You're going to come up here and beat me up over $8,000? Nah, you're not going to do that. We got Border Patrol. And you know what? You're going to try and come up here. I'll call the police. I'll be smarter than Jonte. How about that? All right. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's so crazy, Tom. Thanks for elaborating on your comment and helping me go back and flesh it out because I wasn't totally understanding that. Yeah, good stuff, Tommy. Good stuff. All right, let's see. Smooth saying off topic, Lex. Hang on. Off topic, Lex. Did you start watching Battlestar Galactica? I have no time, Smooth. I'm telling you, I'm not watching anything. I'm not even watching my regular stuff that I like to watch right now because I have moved. I went around the world. I've been organizing and doing all kinds of stuff. I'm building a brand new studio for the show. There's so much going on right now, Smooth, that is just taking up my time. I have no time to sit around and watch anything. So no, I have not watched it. I apologize to you. I know you really want me to watch the new Battlestar Galactica with Edward James Olmos, and I will at some point check it out for sure. I promise you. Tommy's saying, how can we not talk about Jonte Porter's situation that's developing so juicy, especially if the subject you choose is gambling addiction? No, I know, and I want. It's really that I wanted to talk about that slice of it, and be more humanitarian than salacious and about the tabloidness of what he did. I wanted to talk about it from, in some ways, his perspective and how it's an addiction issue. We can, he's the butt of so many jokes right now, and people are kicking him all over the place. And I didn't want to do that here. And in some ways, a lot of the details as far as the case don't really matter at this point. It's all been settled and done, and the sadness of the tragedy is there. So in some ways, I could go over all the names of the people that are in trouble with him. I could do the blow by blow. I could do all that. But to me, it's not that interesting. And in some ways, it's kind of like, what's the point? It's just sad and what happened, and that's it. And Nameless is saying he blames the Italians personally. As an Italian guy himself who teaches me Italian all the time, he's blaming the Italians. Oh, Nameless. All right, let's see. Mike's saying, I'm talking about the legalization of gambling and the elements at play in the decision. It's the way things are. One solution creates other issues. Yeah, I don't know, Mike. In some ways, listen, we're a little bit apart on things, but you know what? You and I are so good on other subjects. In some ways, like I said, we may be getting more official attention coming up, and I want to tone down the politics on this channel. I'm going to ask you guys, because you guys work with me as partners so well, to do a couple things for me, please. I'm going to cut down on kind of the profanity on the channel, because I am trying to get a little bit more pro on here. I know that we've been crazy and we say whatever we want on here. In some ways, there's no filters here. We're completely authentic and real. But also at the same time, I know that there's a place where I could be where we're a little bit more mainstream acceptable by not being so many F-bombs and so many kind of off-color kind of stuff. So I may ask you guys for us to go a little bit more pro in the future, because I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be official people in the Raptors organization that have eyes on us now. And we do need to be possibly a bit more pro. And I may not be going overly political when we don't need to. If we're on a day like today where we are talking about a subject that has a lot of politics to it, like gambling addiction, I'm okay with it. But if we're going to be doing streams that are purely about Raptor stuff or other things, I'm not going to want y'all to introduce politics on those streams. We'll have days where there's a green light to go full on politics. But in some ways, I want to get out of the political arguments. In some ways, I have my own personal beliefs. And maybe this stream should have a disclaimer that this stream is only the public opinions of this man, Alexios, and not necessarily the opinions of the Toronto Raptors, MLSE, or anybody else, any of y'all either. It's just solely my opinions. And in some ways, I'm going to have my opinions and stuff, and I don't want to argue too much about them too much. I'll bring up what I think, and it's good that you counterpoint, but in some ways, I'm going to be less political going forward and less profanity, just so y'all know. There's going to be more serious eyes on me now. And in some ways, if I want to be more mainstream or able to do things in a way that maybe MLSE wants me to do it, I want to do it in a way that they want. In some ways, what I do on this channel is in service to Raptors fans, Raptors community, and MLSE, Masai, and the organization. And I don't want to be a thorn in their sides, causing problems for them in any kind of way. In fact, I would like to be utilized any kind of way that they would ask me. I would do it to help them. So in some ways, I want to get away from the overly politics. Of course, I'm very, very left leaning, and I am very, very much outspoken on how I feel about things. But yeah, I'm just going to ask you guys, please, because this channel is evolving, and it's going to evolve more and more in the years and decades to come as I do this for the rest of my life. So Trevor's saying gambling is a problem from the beginning of time and no solution to fix the problem. To fix the problem, you have to fix you first, and that's the only time it's going to stop. Well, I would say this. Once again, accessibility is the difference in how things are going now. I didn't know where to put a gamble on anything. I don't know Sal and his number over by the docks. I don't know people that are private bookies. I mean, I did actually. I knew a guy who took bets, and I went with him to a cafe on St. Clair West and sat with him as he sat in an Italian sports cafe, and all these old Italian mafia guys yelled bets at him, and he wrote them all down like a computer and took the bets on horses. But yeah, in some ways, I didn't know where to go to even put a bet if I wanted to. Now I do. And that's what I'm saying. Accessibility will draw people in and they will, it's like a trap. It's like it's like cheese on a mousetrap. And if you don't know where the mousetrap is from the past, well, you won't get trapped in that trap. But now the mousetraps are everywhere and they're in commercials right in your face. They're even integrated into the broadcast of the official Raptors broadcast. So that's kind of what I'm saying, Trevor. You can say that, well, that was always a problem, but the accessibility and how forefront it is the difference at this point. Mike's saying advertising gambling needs to be restricted. I agree with this completely. Like alcohol and cigarettes, completely with you on this, Mike. I think 50% the tax profit should go to tackle addiction. Boom goes the dynamite. Mike's on fire now. I think that's where government control is better than Wild West, et cetera. Well, I understand the sentiment of Adam Silver to say that there may be criminality and seediness and the illegal activity of gambling, whether it's like the cannabis trade, like here in Canada too, or whatever thing. When you legalize something, it's out in the open. Now, there'll always be a side black market no matter what. Sure, you think it's just because you legalize gambling, there's no illegal gambling going on? No, that stuff is still happening in the pockets that it still happened in. So I don't know. It doesn't really solve that problem in some ways, is what I would say. It really doesn't. Now, they're going to say, well, we can really come after the people who are outside of our realm of legalized gambling and really nail them. Well, you weren't nailing them before. What is the difference? That's kind of what I say. This is all a mask and reasoning. In some ways, it's a talking point by Adam Silver to justify the nightmare that David Stern never wanted. You know, David Stern hated gambling, and he really staunchly fought against gambling coming anywhere near the NBA his whole entire life. And when he passed away, this is sad because in some ways, if he saw what's happening with the NBA right now, I think he'd be disappointed. I think he'd be very, very disappointed. David Stern was very much against the NBA being in Las Vegas. And it's going to be in Las Vegas in the years very soon. And when expansion comes, Adam Silver's going directly there, and LeBron James will own that team. We already know what's happening. The writing's on the wall. We've been hearing it. Yeah. But Mike, good stuff. I'm giving you a 3. And I can totally get on board with you on this aspect of things, that the revenue should be going back to help solve the problems it's causing. Yeah. Logical Raptors fanatic nailed a 3 from the corner on that one. You're at 39, my guy. 39 dunks for Logical on that one. Good stuff, Mike. And when are you going to put another content out, man? I miss your videos. I know it's a lot of work and you've been very busy, but man, it's been a year since you put something out on your channel. I really miss stuff. Maybe you can get maybe a little bit going for preseason and get something going like a preview for the year or something, Mike. I love your insight. And y'all follow Logical Raptors Fanatic. His channel is inactive right now, but I'm hoping he'll rev it back up very, very soon. It is definitely one of the family channels that we like to endorse here on this channel on YouTube. Shir Khan saying, Raptor Freak super fan, Mo, the greatest DAP. That's right. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. The Bret Hart of the Raptor Freak fan nation is Monique. That is right. David Saborn getting the DAP from Shir Khan. Also, I love it. Dunk at Darko, the lurker. Yeah. Darko did get dunks. And so we're going to give Darko another dunk in absentia. Darko is on here, and he got 1 dunk last season, and now he's going to get a dunk for this season because Isaac has thrown him a lob. There you go. There you go. Yeah, we love you, Coach. And, man, you're a genuine, real deal Holyfield. I can tell the way you're jet setting around and visiting your players this summer. And, I love the fact that you study all sports, read all these books, and do all this work that you do, improving yourself to be a better coach in service to help the Raptors be better and the fans be happier and MLSE and the Raptors just doing better. So you go, Darko. We appreciate the hard work you're doing in the offseason, the stuff that nobody sees. We know you're doing it. Dana's got the 2-finger salute for the Celtics on the game of Game 2 today. F the Celtics, Dana's saying straight up. And Dana's famous thing is the 2-finger salute. And she has a 2-finger salute often for different people on different days. And well, today is for the whole Celtics team. All right, see, Sergeant Wayne Strainer's here holding it down. We love to see Wayne in the chat in the morning. Let's see what he's saying. Yow, freaks. Happy birthday, Mo. Hoping all the best for you and family. Yes, I'm back at you, Wayne. I hope you're having a great Sunday morning so far. And yeah, man, yesterday was fantastic. And as I said to any of the people that are watching this stream from anywhere in the world, if you love the Raptor Freak channel and you're coming to Toronto, we will organize a get together around you being here and we can all hang out and meet you. So Wayne, if you are around and you come to Toronto, we would love to meet you. We'll set something up at one of the venues we've been going to, and we'll have a meet and greet. It'll be a good chance for everybody to have a reason to get together. And Monique's birthday was fantastic this weekend. Well, if somebody's coming from Ottawa, somebody's coming from BC, somebody's coming from Alberta, the States, wherever they're coming from, we love doing Raptor Freak Hangouts, and we will do it and orient it. So, Wayne, I hope you can come to Toronto sometime and let us know. We would love to see you in person. Most saying, thank you all once again. W Vibes, W Streams, deep thoughts. Keep at it always. Good times approaching. Go Raptors for life. Raptor Freak Crew strong and strong forever. That's right, Mo. And you are such a huge part of it. You're like the heart and soul of the Raptor Freak community. And I'm just a mouthpiece. And man, but you are a huge inspiration. And you are the one that has a lot of the information and knowledge and just, the history of this team, just like we do too. And man, tomorrow I'm going to talk about some of the honors that Mo was bestowed yesterday at the birthday party on a Monday Moment. We'll have a celebration of Monique and her birthday party on her birthday tomorrow. Yeah, good stuff. Mike's saying, I get your point about what pushes people to do things for basic survival. The wealth gap is a huge issue, but there are elements of people who just believe that's what life is about and will never change. Well, I would argue this as a sociologist, Mike, who went to grad school at Florida State and studied this in school, that it's part of the ingrained long-term causes of this. Like if you basically like this, if you have generations of people that struggle, and then it becomes a cultural thing, and then it becomes more ingrained and more likely to be susceptible to fall into it. Now, you could say somebody like DeMar DeRozan, let's just take for example, who grew up in Compton, and he had all kinds of gang activity around him. It could have been easy for DeMar to fall into that lifestyle heavily and really derail his potential NBA career. But he had options and he found his way out of that. So it's really hard once it's institutionalized generationally to break some of that kind of stuff. If a family lives in poverty and criminality for a while, well, that's what we got to do. We got to build people up. And, you may be surprised. Some of the people, sure, they're greedy and evil and they just want money no matter what. And they'll take advantage of things and stuff like that. But some people will just want relief. Some people just want a little help. And if they get it, then maybe they're not so stressed out and pressurized and making poor decisions. It's not so cut and dry. There's very much shades of gradient in what we're talking about here, Mike. But I will argue that the culture of criminality can be passed down because of years of poverty. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. Tom is saying, I applaud you urging us all to be more focused on the Raptors. Let's grow. Yeah, I know I go off on tangents. I'll talk about anything. It's a free-for-all. We've talked about movies. We've talked about innocuous, crazy things. We talk about addiction. We talk about so many different subjects here. It's all on the table. And I'm not like other content makers that say, I won't talk about this. We will talk about the war in Israel. We will talk about the war in Ukraine. We will talk about abortion rights. We will talk about heavy subjects that are divisive. And yeah, I've lost subscribers because of some of my opinions, but that's not why I'm here. As Leo said in his life tip, be genuine. And in some ways, I'm just going to be me. I can't help but be me. And I don't want to be a cult of personality where y'all just agree with everything I say either. I just want us to have a forum so that we can discuss things, educate, and be more, worldly about understanding things. That's all. That's all. If you don't agree with me, I'm perfectly fine with it. I won't argue blue in the face. It's just that I want things to be fair. That's all I want. That's all I want. There you go. Yeah. Let's see. David's saying, let's 98 it, people. That's the new saying. Let's 98 it, people. I don't even know what happened in 98. What happened in 98 with the Raptors? It wasn't totally a good year. I mean, it was a year where we got Vince, and Vince came to the Raptors, a short striking season. It's also the year I returned to Toronto from Florida State and being in Tallahassee. So, yeah, it's an interesting year. It's the year right before I started working for the Raptors at Air Canada Center when they opened the building brand new. Yeah. So, yeah, let's 98 it. Do it the right way. That's right. Darko, do it the right way. Darko is a real one. I mean, I could tell IQ was very touched that Darko personally just showed up, surprising him early last week and just hanging out with him and showing a very concentrated interest in him. I mean, I think there's no denying and any kind of weirdness. Emmanuel's going to be a Raptor next year. He may be an RFA right now, technically, but it's there's the way he's talking about Scotty, the way he's talking about Masai and Bobby. This guy's coming back and he's going to be with us. I know maybe I shouldn't be saying that or something, but he's not really holding any cards tight to his chest. He's very much Raptor. I mean, his 2K team's wearing Raptors jerseys and running around the court. I mean, it's pretty much a done deal. I think out of all the free agency things that are going on this summer, IQ is one of the more sure bets. Now, could there be some sort of weird bidding war with some other team trying to drive up the restricted free agent price? Possibly, but that's dirty. And a lot of the teams kind of have an unwritten rule not to do that to each other, kind of like run up a bid at an auction just to make somebody pay more for an item. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. And in some ways, some teams have utilized that in the past, and it's kind of dirty. But there are a lot of teams that kind of frown on that kind of behavior, unspoken in the whole NBA world. So we'll have to see how it goes. I think, it's very much a given. Emmanuel's going to be a Raptor next year. So, yeah, Mike's saying if those people have less options, then less people get hurt from being able to take legal action against certain people that are just evil, basically. I have lived with enough of these people to know. Yeah, Mike, in some ways I would say even evil people, they need mental health help. Hey, open up an Arkham and let's just get a big, huge mental health facility like Cam H down on Queen Street West. In some ways, there's a lot of hurt and pain and criminality and evilness. That's really where a lot of things come from. People are hurting inside and they do things. And they, in some ways, they don't necessarily want to be doing this stuff. I know you've been around that element. I've been around that element too in my past. My past is checkered too. But in some ways, we've got to understand everybody's human in the end. And even if these people are wrong and awful, there's ways of nonviolent ways and therapeutic, holistic ways to get through to them and rehabilitate them. This is something that is done in prisons all around North America constantly. In some ways, effectively, but in a lot of cases not, because they're just warehouses for making money off people. But some of them, there is real cases of rehabilitation that really does help. So, Mike, the system can be changed and hopefully be more holistic and healing towards people instead of punitive, because sometimes holistic and healing gets better results and change behavior. How about that? Yeah. But yeah, listen, I've been around very, very evil, bad people too. And when I was younger and I was an alcoholic and down in Florida, I have a past. Let's just say I've spent time in jail. So I can understand where you're coming from with this perspective. But even the worst people in the world, somewhere, there's a part of them that is just a crying out little child that's sad and hurt. Let's just put it that way. Isaac's got me on blast with a heart. He's got Scotty with love eyes. He's got the Raptors logo with the basketball, and he's got Darko with a heart too. All right. I love that lineup, Isaac. And there's Mo on blast too. Dana's saying, can we still be foul mouths in the Facebook chat? Listen, I don't mind if y'all be foul mouths. You go ahead. I don't want to filter y'all. I'm just asking to say, let's be reasonable with this at this point. If you do say cuss words in there, I may censor you as far as make the Ned Flanders Dokily Diddly version of the cuss word you use. I don't know. In some ways, I know I could get a better audience if I was for people that are under 18, but I can't mark that because this is a very adult channel. And I mean, obviously, the Raptors want to market the Raptors towards children and being family friendly. And that's not what this channel is. So in some ways, I want to keep that balance. And I do want it to still be an adult channel. But there are ways we could be more professional by not dropping so many F-bombs. I mean, I used to work on FM radio down in Florida, and I could not cuss on the air. So I know how to work non-blue. It's just that I've loved the free, unfiltered sense of this channel while we've been doing it for the last 3 years. And in some ways I value it, but also at the same time, I know some of it's not necessary and it's turned people off. I know there's been people in the chat who said, why do you have to cuss so much, Lex? And I'm like, I thought about it. I was like, I kind of value my free speech, but also in the same token, I don't want to turn people off partly just because of something stupid like cussing. I don't know, Dana, your 2-finger salute is absolutely fine. And if you want to drop F-bombs and just be Dana, I'm not going to stop you. I may read your comment slightly censored. How about that? Wade said, if true with Porter, his future earnings could have paid off his debt, in my opinion. He doesn't seem like a malicious person, but most people are just naive at best. Capitalism loves crime. There you go. Wayne dropping truth bombs all over the place on this one. Yeah, it's sad. Why couldn't he see this? The dude, why can't you wait till all right, you need 8,000 by Friday. I'll give you 80,000 if you wait till Friday next year. How about that? Why couldn't an arrangement be made? These guys are smart. Supposedly, no, none of them were, but they couldn't see the trend of what was happening with his career right then. Instead, they're going to derail it by making him do something illegal and stupid and take his ability to play in the NBA away from him for life. Seriously, why couldn't he just say, like, look, man, I'm about to get a big NBA contract this summer and be back on the Raptors. Why can't I just pay you then? In fact, I'm getting worried. This is really getting to a place where I'm really worried I may jeopardize my career, and I want to get out. And I'll just pay you guys. And don't worry, I'll even pay interest. You know what? If you don't make me pay you the $8,000 now, put interest on it. I don't care. I'm going to have the amount, and I'll pay you, and I'll learn my lesson at some point. There's all kinds of other ways he could arrange this if he thought through it a little bit better. Even if he just stopped stone cold right there instead of agreeing to do this stupid stunt in these games, he could have paid them off and like a lot more. These guys could have been smart and be like, you know what? If I wait, I'll get like 5 figures instead of 4. Dumbasses. They're all dumbasses. They didn't realize his wealth potential, and that's their own damn fault. I don't think Jonte's a malicious person at all. I think he's a very naive person that in some ways is intelligent. He's intelligent in some aspects, but he's not intelligent in some very important ones. And some people say, yeah, you can be book smart. You can be street smart. Yeah, there's all kinds of different smarts. And there was a certain kind of smart that he was lacking. It was common sense smart. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Trevor saying, back to Raptor stuff. All this gambling stuff has me dizzy. I hear you, Trevor. I'm with you on that. And Mo's saying, we'll send you some pictures of the stream. Go Raptors. Perfect, Mo. I need all the pictures you got, and I'm going to pick the best one for the cover photo for tomorrow's stream. And yes, we will be totally celebrating Monique's birthday once again, and all the daily Raptors news as usual. Mike's saying, you're hitting on that point of environment, tie line, and standard precipitation from familial pressure and abuse are key factors there too. Exactly, Mike. Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. People can have prejudices against Aboriginal communities in this country. But do you realize why this has happened to this particular group of people in this continent? Does people not realize why my Facebook profile picture is orange? Because there has been a genocide silently on this continent of the years of the indigenous people that lived on this continent before Canada was established. And in some ways, the alcoholism, the addiction problems, the social, societal, and criminal problems of indigenous groups that currently live in this country is all from past traumas. Pain body is passed down in DNA from generations. And, if you are a Aboriginal child in this country, you are more likely to have alcoholism in your DNA. And that's just the truth. The people who say, that's crazy what you're saying. Like, no. Trauma and trauma. That's why genocide and awful, evil war and things that are happening everywhere, whether it's in Israel, whether it's in Ukraine, whether it's in countries in Africa that nobody's talking about, the repercussions don't just happen with the violent act that happens at that time. The ripples from the initial violent acts reverberate throughout generations for centuries. That people do not understand that. And that is part of the problem right there, Mike. And you're exactly hitting it right there. Familial pressure, all this kind of stuff is passed down. Trauma and pain is passed down in families. And people don't understand this enough. They really, really don't. Wayne's saying, we want you to be genuine, yes. However, we have factual truths that are uncomfortable for most due to their ignorance. We still have to be careful. This channel is about the love we have for the Raptors. There's a balance, Wayne. There's a balance. In some ways, for me to do this channel free-flowing without any scripts or cue cards going exactly off my head, I have to be able to be unfiltered, but I can control myself to a degree. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to find a better balance in certain ways. I don't want y'all to lose the fun and the things that you value about this channel and how we interact, but I do want to try and sharpen up and polish and get better as we go. It's just like any of the NBA guys and how they're doing things. Marquise Noel's in Miami trying to get better for next season, to make a big splash, to make a bigger impact in the NBA. Well, progress. And in some ways, I'm in development just like a player is on my channel. And I'm trying to make some of the next development steps to be a little bit more, I don't want to say mainstream, but a little bit more palatable to the average watcher. In some ways, yeah, I'm not trying to get 1 million followers. I'm not doing the YouTube clips to you make your channel more attractive and just draw people in. I'm not doing gimmicky shit. I'm not trying to do stuff like a lot of Raptors channels are, that they're just about views and subscriptions. No, I'm just doing what I'm doing, and I get what I get, and I want to be true and genuine. And that's it. But yeah, I realized I could cut out some of the extraneous stuff. You know, we talked about making my stream shorter. Like, I'm coming up on 2 hours, and the 2-hour time limit is something I could talk for 4 hours with you guys. I love talking to you so much. But I appreciate that there's mostly no more comments. We're going to get done right on time, right around 2 hours. So perfect stuff, Wayne. And I appreciate your opinions. And as always, this is a work in progress where you guys have input. This channel is something that I change things around as you guys talk to me. So I'm always interested in hearing y'all's opinions and how you feel, how things are evolving. Definitely. Yeah. Mike's saying addiction and crime are uncomfortable subjects, and it's shaped a lot from personal experiences with people dealing with those issues. It's completely true. It's completely true. If you're a victim of crime and you have a trauma from a criminal doing something very awful to you, you may be more inclined and scared and be more like, I want to fight against all the criminals out there because this happened to me and I'm hurting still from it. You know, there's all kinds of different ways you get to where you are and why you feel about certain things. You know, some people are worried about people that are in death row that are actually innocent, and they want to come in the Innocence Project, and they want to come and save these people. You know, there's all kinds of different aspects. Nothing is just purely black and white. There's so many shades of gray. And in some ways, we have to have a worldview that's allowed for all kinds of specifics that may be permutations that aren't exactly just the same. Once again, we can't just broad stroke everything, just like people. And there's all specific cases, and specific cases need specific solutions. And that's what I would say right there. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, man, I love talking to you, man. And even though you and I have not totally been eye to eye on this, man, we've come together and we've come to a place where actually we do really kind of understand some of it. I just don't want people to stop keep not seeing who the real problem is. And it's at the top. It's the overabundance of wealth that's being collected by the very top greedy, the CEOs, the people in that class that are robbing us blind, the 1%, is the people that pit us against each other. And they will utilize all kinds of talking points. A lot of it's on Fox News and right-wing punditry to divide us. You know, whether they want to scare people with trans this, trans that. They're trying to teach your children to be gay and all this. They're saying all kinds of crazy shit to keep people from being together so that we don't come together and come at them. Because if we're divided and fighting with each other, we're diverted from coming at them. And that's what I'm trying to say with this whole part here. Nameless saying, here's the issue of what you're saying. That's a very reasonable response. The problem is you're not dealing with reasonable people. Yeah, some people say the system is broken. No, the system is not broken. It's working exactly how they designed it. The system's messed up and it needs to be destroyed. That's what it is right there. Yeah, Wayne's saying, Nameless, thanks for nailing it. Dunk and 3 points for you. Ditto that. There you go. All right, we're going to give a 3-pointer to Nameless from Wayne on the lob. There you go. All right, where is Nameless on the list? He's alphabetical. I should be able to find him. There he is. You are 36, my guy. 36 dunks for Nameless at this point. Good stuff. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Nameless saying the people that he's dealing with have a new button for every suit, if you catch my drift. Nameless, of course, in some ways comes from this world we're talking about too also, Mike. Nameless has paisanos. Let's just put it that way. So he knows what he's talking about here. Wayne saying, you know me, I will go political all day long, but I have to follow your lead and your content leadership. Listen, Wayne, I may be the guy on the screen, and I may be a leader in some ways, but listen, I in some ways they say the guy who doesn't really want to be the leader should be the leader. Well, I'm one of those kind of leaders. I know that I have a skill for oration and being able to communicate. And in some ways, I want to use the best skills I have in my life, just like Scotty needs to use his best skills on the basketball court. Well, I have God-given talents that I need to utilize. So if that puts me as a mouthpiece in some ways, yeah, I want to be a good leader. But in some ways, I'm not power hungry. That's the whole thing. And the people that are power hungry should not be leaders. That's part of the problem in today's world. Seymour has redacted his statements. Sheriff Seymour Pape holding it down in Calgary, Alberta for us. I hope your drinking water has gotten better in recent days, for sure. I will never trust a politician on either side, period. It's tough. And once again, like Monty Brewster said, none of the above. But it's better to vote and vote for the lesser of two evils. Just trust me on that. Because once again, I'll say false equivalency on both sides being the same. One side wants to control your life in a fascist way. And then the other side is for freedom and acceptance and allowing us to be able to do things. And that's why it's not the same. I will say the liberals may be corporate puppets. The NDP is more my style. PC is fascist. And being a corporate puppet versus being fascist and wanting to control your life, your body, abortion rights, all kinds of stuff, privatizing every public service for like the rights of businessmen and corporations. No, we don't need that. So they will try and sell it to you that both sides are bad, Seymour. But if you're really thinking about it, there are levels to this. And the one side is absolutely handmaiden's tale, fascist future that they want to create. And the other side is fighting for trans rights and rights for people that are being maligned and subjugated. So don't false equivalency the politicians. They may be not perfect, any of them, but there is worse and better. Just trust me on this. Infamous is saying, salute, freaks. We all need to become political atheists. There is no difference between the left and the right wings on the same bird. I will disagree once again. A lot of people don't like the left side of the bird because they're worried about fear, like trans and all this kind of stuff. Well, they're preying on your fears when you get upset about that. Once again, I'll just say what I just said, and that's enough. Infamous, good to see you coming in. Good to see you. And Logical saying the same thing. Listen, I understand the jadedness with the political system. It's not representative. In some ways, everybody's compromised. They're all compromised because to be big in politics, you have to have money. And the corporations control the money and they give the money to people, you know? But I will tell y'all, once again, there's a difference between Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre. And if you can't understand that difference and you can't see why it's way more important to have somebody not like Poilievre in charge, then I don't know what to tell you. Because there are things that are happening with right-wing politics on North America that are stirring up in the United States that are reminiscent of what Hitler was doing in Nazi Germany in the 100 years ago. So y'all need to be very vigilant in this way, and don't fall for the myth of this either. You fall for the myth of criminality and criminals are the whole problem in society right now. No, that's a myth. You can fall for the myth that they're both the same and it doesn't matter who we vote for. That's a myth too. Because they want you to have that and feel apathetic and be like, I don't want to vote because I don't like anybody. I'm telling you, we need to exercise our power to vote because that is one of the few powers we have. And don't get jaded because everybody's the same. It's not true. It is not true. And I will argue against you guys on that every single day. False equivalency about the political parties is what the right wing wants you to think so that they're dragging that other side down with them. So you say, oh, they both suck. They both are horrible. It's a fallacy, and don't fall for it. It's how they try and get you not to go out and vote, just so you know. Yeah, all right. Seymour saying, no clean water till Tuesday. Can't do laundry, wash dishes. I'm in Flint of Canada. That's horrible. This is what I'm saying. Canada does not need to look to United States for direction on how to become more like the way they are. If there's a water problem in Flint for decades, they have not fixed it. We don't need that happening in Calgary. So Calgary, get your act together. We don't need no Flint up here. That's right. That's right. Wayne's saying, do we have a realistic opportunity to get Zach? I think that's a game changer, futuristic. I love the idea. I want it. I want it so bad. IQ was talking about Zach a lot on Friday night himself. I think that Masai and Bobby may need to trade up to get him. And maybe Bruce Brown's involved. Maybe Bruce Brown in our 19th pick, and we move up into the higher teens just to ensure we can get him, because there are a few teams on the list that are interested in Zach that are above us and picking. So I don't know. Maybe Bobby and Masai are figuring out some sort of like little deal to flip our pick and get a little higher to ensure that we can get the Boilermaker from Purdue, because I endorse that. The league is going Victor and Chet, and +7 players are valuable and important in this new league that's starting to the new era now. And we don't want to be behind on this. And it's great to keep it in family. And also, the thing about Zach is he's loyal to Toronto. That's one of the things I love about RJ and Kelly being on this team. There's no thing about, oh, I don't want to be in Toronto. They're home. They want to be here. They had dreams as children to play for this team. And so does Zach Edey. So, yeah, I want to make this happen somehow, some way. We're going to figure it out. And I don't know. I don't know what Bobby and Masai are doing. I trust in them. I don't live on the moon like Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster. That's what I tell people. GMs in this league have a whole other set of games that the average fan that does the trade machine on ESPN just does not understand. And I don't know how to breathe on the moon. I don't know what the gravity's like. I don't know where the moon patrol buggy goes. Masai and Bobby do, because they live in that world and they understand the real landscape of what being a front office in the NBA is. Every GM at home and sitting behind their computer can say whatever they want. They don't know what they're talking about. So I have no idea what they're going to do. I can speculate that maybe they'll trade up by using Bruce Brown as a trade chip. But that's kind of what I hope. That's what I kind of hope. Yeah. Info is saying no lesser of both evils is horrible strategy. Evil is evil. Well, this world's evil, Infamous. And if you want a different grade of evil, we can go accelerate right into evil. I'll say right here, passiveness and not doing something about it and not exercising your power that you wield is evil in its own way, because you're just standing by and letting things happen. What if we don't do anything and we just let it happen and it's really, really bad? And you're older and you're thinking, man, maybe if I had voted earlier on and not thought that they were both so bad, and we wouldn't be in this dystopian world where they're absolutely controlling us now. I'm telling you, there's a lot of signs with AI, a lot of signs with cameras and the surveillance of the world at this point, that things could get really, really bad in the future for future generations if we don't start shaping the future more properly with rights and understanding this. And them clouding this is not helping things. And if we can do something about it now and not regret it 50 or 100 years from now as a humankind, let's try and do it now. And let's get on the same page. Seriously. I'm a prognosticator. I look forward to things. I understand trends. I understand how things are going. I can do it in the basketball world. I can do it in the real world. And I'm telling you right now, do not be passive in voting just because you think none of the choices are good. Seriously, if you really don't like anybody, vote green. Vote somebody. Just vote. And don't stay at home just because you think nobody is a good choice. Seriously. Name is the same. Basically, you never want a majority of government because there is no accountability. Always vote against popular demand to balance the landscape. I don't agree with that. You could look at the United States right now and how divisive it is and how stale, how it's stalled out. There's nothing getting done down there. They can't get good legislation through because there's just obstacles between the two parties won't agree. Specifically, the Republican Party stops every single thing that Biden's trying to do. And that's a problem. That's why I do like majority. In some ways, I'd rather have 4 years, a cycle of the majority of this government and then that 4 years of that. In some ways, they kind of go back and forth and maybe erase some of the progress one side does, then come back and stuff like that. But the thing is, we don't want a wasteful government where they're taking our tax dollars and they're just spinning their wheels because they just come in there and argue and don't get nothing done. So I would say this, majority government is sometimes very good because they actually steer the car somewhere and get some progress going here. Just a devil's advocate on that one. Just a devil's advocate on that one. Now, I don't want absolute power for one group for a long, long period of time. Of course, you want balance in that kind of way. Seymour saying they both answer to the same people. All of them are not for the people. They view us as the public, as sheep, as they are puppets to the elite with cash. This is becoming more and more true. Just like cattle are livestock to agriculture, well, humans are kind of look like that by corporations at the top. There's no humanistic caring in this. This is we're numbers, we're profits, we're markets to tap. That's all way they look at this. And we've got to understand this in this whole situation. This is exactly right. In some ways, the politicians answer to the oil companies. They answer to the car companies. They answer to the big industries that they give subsidy to and all kinds of dumbass things too. And that's where the problem is. Corporatism is absolutely destroying our earth, our environment, and our humanity. And it's going to get worse and worse. And that's what we need to fight against. Things like what I do on this channel is grassroots and human and anti-corporate. And in some ways, this is a beacon of light in a horrible mess of a place where it just wants your money. And they're just trying to make you a rube. It's just like P.T. Barnum said, there's a sucker born every day. And that's what they want. They want you to be that sucker. And they want to make the money off you. In some ways, they're very parasitic. And they're very much just leeching off of our work and what we put into society and build. They don't do jack shit. I was talking to Pizza Chris yesterday in his company, and there's all these hot shots that want to be CEOs in his company that don't do actually jack shit, and they just want to skip and get to that point where they make a lot of money, but they don't have to do jack shit. So there's a lot of issues here, and we're getting heavy stuff. And man, I could go on and on about this, but I'm over 2 hours, and I need to finish up. Yeah, Tommy's saying, take it easy, Rapid Freak family. Have a fabulous Sunday. Let's all be grateful. Yeah, let's get back to the point of where we started. And that is, we are just here alive. We have good things in our life. We have people that love us. We have things that we enjoy. We have a sunshine. We have a beauty of nature. There's so many things to be grateful for. And when you start feeling sorry for yourself, that's the best place to turn right there. I know whenever I start feeling negative or angry, or maybe like feeling down on myself or mad at myself, I will turn to something and I'll say, you know what? This may be the true, this may be true, but I know at least my parents love me very much. And you can go whatever with whatever thing that's your bedrock in your life that kind of just is support for you. And you're just like, you know what? This may be this, but you know what? I am so privileged and I love that I have my son or I have my daughter. You can have whatever it is in your life that kind of anchors you and that you can have gratitude towards that you have in your life. That is the start for getting towards happiness when you may be under duress, just so you know. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Let's see. Mike's saying players to Alberta and their water. Yeah. Prayers to Alberta and their water. Yeah. That's really messed up out there for sure. And let's see. Infamous saying not voting is also exercising political strategy. It's inactivity and it's actually a waste. And honestly, I used to think that way, but I don't anymore. You need to do it. And you could even write in somebody. I'd rather you even just go down there and write in Mickey Mouse than just not do it. In some ways, people that do not vote, they don't really get a say on what's happening literally by not voting. And also, in some ways, you didn't vote. So what? You don't care. So why do you have a political opinion? In some ways, a lot of people believe that. People fought and died in foreign wars so you'd have the right to vote, and you do not honor them when you do not exercise it, is what I'm saying. Seymour saying, logical, trust me, we need it. It's bad. The water, yeah, I can't understand this. There should be maybe a emergency act by Justin Trudeau right now, or the premier of Alberta. What is he doing? What are they doing over there? That's a conservative government province. And if they ain't helping their people, well, that just shows you. That just shows you right there. They better get on it and start helping the people. And they better not be picking and choosing who they're helping. They better be helping all the people and not just the elite wealthy. Seriously. Yeah. If it was saying prayers to Alberta as well, stay safe. Yeah, there you go. And Zach is on the blast. All the best to you, Sheriff. And Tom's giving prayers. And Seymour saying Calgary to air dry to Stratford is the zone affected. And that's big. That's awful. Well, blessings and safety to everyone involved. Yeah. Wayne saying, trying to stay basketball. Alberta's issue is by choice. They consistently vote for persons who value oil over everything else. Choices come with a consequence. And that's what I'm trying to say right there. Wayne, boom, goes the dynamite right there. That's what I'm saying. Where are their values? What's important to them? Go listen to their platforms. And what are they talking about? They're talking about getting sweetheart deals for corporations in Europe for a fucking spa on the Lake Ontario. Yeah, figure out what their platform is and realize if they're for the people or they're for that corporation that's behind them. That's right there. Wow, said Seymour. Wow. And he's saying, all y'all have a blessed day. I'm out. There you go. We love you, Seymour. And Kenrick's here. Kenrick Chronic Art James in the greater Toronto area, tattoo artist. If you need a good tattoo, a Raptors tattoo, Kenrick's your guy. So find him on social media, Kenrick Chronic Art James. He's done art for this channel. It's absolutely badass. And I appreciate you, Kenrick. He's saying, I'm a Raptors fan, and the political stuff is hard to listen to for more than 3 minutes, family. See, there you go. Kenrick's not into that part of the channel, and he'd like to hear more Raptors stuff. I can get behind you on that, Kenrick. And that's why I was kind of pleading with everybody earlier. I can get on tangents. You've obviously seen that today. All right, let's make sure we did not miss anything. Canada got beat really bad by USA yesterday. 107-69 was the score. USA dominating the under-18 Canada team. Oliver Ayew with 0 points. Tristan Beckford with only 9. Leading scorer was Spencer Aarons with 13. Yeah, not a good look for them. The Team USA was just jumped all over them in the semifinals. So USA will go to the finals, and Canada will be playing for a bronze at this point. All right, let's see. What else did I miss? As always, we are on the 5-year anniversary of the Raptors championship in 2019. And if you want to see what was going on with our team and myself at that time, go check out the community tab on this channel. There's old clips from 5 years ago talking about what was happening in the finals against the Warriors and the day of 5 years later. So yeah, it's really fun. All right, let's do the Instagram stories real fast. Scotty's on a new mural somewhere, and I don't know where it is exactly, and I don't know who any of the players are. It could be in China or something. I don't know. But yeah, Scotty's posted a new mural that he's been drawn in on. His friend Lloyd is back in Brooklyn. He's underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. We could see that. Slim Duck, this weekend, he is at F1, and he's taking pictures of himself on the red carpet and getting interviewed and around Lou Dort and other celebrities, including French Montana, So we see Chris Boucher hobnobbing at the F1 races. There's Superfan Mo's Instagram, and I see her sister next with her on an Instagram story there. They're looking so pretty and just enjoying Monique's birthday party. Awesome, awesome stuff. Miles Burns is celebrating a friend of his getting engaged. He's actually posted the picture. And also there's NEPL league is coming up. He's putting that on blast also. Thad Young, of course, has his Memphis basketball camp coming up, the 360. So if you're in the Memphis area and you can sign up. It's a free basketball camp that Thad's putting on. Koloko has got a picture. It's really cute of him back home when he was a kid. And he's such a cute kid. He's wearing like green overalls. Christian, we love you. And I hope that you get healthy and you can return and play in your league. Gary Trent Sr. is on a bouncy castle somewhere with the kids, with Gary's brothers. And it looks really fun. It looks like Scotty playing Fall Guys, but in real life. It does. I can see Garrison and Grayson running around. It's fun. Mr. New York City is working out a lot. He's showing a lot of workout clips recently and what's going on with him. He's also driving by a Ferrari dealership. Marquise, we believe in you. We know you're in Miami putting in that hard work. And man, I want to see you in Summer League for the Raptors and get an MVP, but I have no idea which team you're connected with. He's kind of wiped his socials of Toronto, and I don't know what's going on in the background with things, but I don't want Marquise to be hating us. I love you, Marquise. Heart over height. We believe in you. And if you're not on the Raptors, I wish you well either way, but I do hope you're still with the Raptors. Matt Devlin is putting on blast the national championship of the Utah Utes baseball team. So, yeah, he's got a Utes support for the Utah Utes baseball team. Very, very cool. Grady Dick, he's at an F1 event. They had an event in Toronto. It's an F1 experience, and the Raptors went as a group in May when it opened up, and they just released a bunch of pictures from that event of Emmanuel, Scotty, Jordan Wara, Darko, Grady, a bunch of them all at it, like doing racing car simulators. And there was one thing where they were like doing a reflex test to see who had the quickest reflex. And it was pretty cool. They were competing between Jordan and Grady and Emmanuel to see who could hit the button, the right reflex. It's kind of testing like hitting the gas off the green in an F1 race. But really cool to see the Raptors doing fun stuff as a group together. Of course, Darko, when he's behind the wheel on the F1 experience, he's really locked in and focused. Really, really interesting stuff. Yeah, Grady did a thing where he was grading things. He was grading wine. He was grading all different things. Grady did a little Grady thing, grading. That's kind of funny. We the North 2K has got more matchups coming up soon. So always follow We the North 2K, Emmanuel Quickly's 2K team. They've got different matchups coming up. They're promising us they're going to be playing Scotty Barnes in the near future. So follow on Twitch and Instagram, We the North 2K, the fantastic top 10 NBA 2K team that Emmanuel Quickly is a part of. All right, I think that's pretty much it, guys, for the Instagram stories there. Let's see. Oh, Raptors official has got, I'm not sure what that is. There's a game on blast. There's some sort of contest that they've got on blast on there with Bell. So check out Raptors official admin account on Instagram for that. Oh, and RJ Barrett's got a friends and family sale for Puma gear also, just like Slim Duck. So if you want to go on RJ's code, it's Barrett Friends. If you want to get a 40% or 30% off on Puma gear with RJ's name. There you go. There's the Instagram stories. Game 2 tonight of the finals. Let's see what happens. Like I said, I'm predicting an evening up of the series, a big game from Kyrie and Luka, and Tony Brothers will be a factor in this game tonight. I'm going to tell you right now. The refs are Tony, John Goble, and Bill Kennedy. The alternate is Tyler Ford, and Kevin Scott's going to be in the replay center tonight. Birthdays for the Raptors today. First, we got the birthday of Sebastian Telfair. It's his birthday today. I believe he's turning 34? No, I can't figure it out. And also today's birthday, Peja Stojakovic. Happy birthday to Predrag Stojakovic, a brief Raptor for a little while. Of course, the great shooter from over in Europe, Peja. Very, very good NBA shooter back in his day. So it's his birthday too. So happy birthday, Peja Stojakovic and Sebastian Telfair. Yeah, all right. That's about it, guys. If you have a WNBA fantasy team, keep up with your team and put your lineups in there. It's the last day of the week in the matchups. I've got a lead on James right now. It looks like MK is going to beat Edmond. Then we've got a very close matchup between Marie and Morgan.
That's a great matchup right there. And Kareem is beating David quite well right now. So I'm very interested. David's very competitive, and Kareem is beating him right now. That's fantastic. And then very, very close matchup between JP and Cool Cat also. Very, very good stuff on there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching me today. I know it was a little bit longer stream. 18 minutes over. I apologize. And thank you for being here and spending the time with me. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Yeah, see, Name was saying, listen, take it from a guy like 7'5", heart over height is BS. I don't know if that's true. I honestly don't think that is true. Heart over height can really, really, really matter. Talk to Muggsy Bogues. Talk to Michael Adams. Talk to Fred VanVleet. These guys are proof that it is true, that you can do this. You have a chip on your shoulder if you're a little guy. Trust me. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll be back tomorrow for our Monday moment on Monique's birthday. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody. Love everybody. And thanks, everybody, for coming to the get-together yesterday. It was fantastic. It really was one of our better hangouts. We've done quite a few over the last few years. And, man, so awesome to celebrate Monique in the way we did. And we'll talk about it more tomorrow, more details. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Sunday. And Scotty would say, get out there and touch grass. And yeah, share the love. Be loving and supportive of each other. We are humanity, and humanity connects us. They will try and divide us and tell us we aren't supposed to be together. Don't fall for it. We are together. We can fight them, and we can beat them. That's why they do what they do. That's right. Peace, y'all. Peace out. And I love you, Isaac. Isaac, you got some interesting things I'm going to tell you about tomorrow, my guy. Thank you once again, Isaac, for your benevolence in the past. And thank you, everybody, for watching me. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go.